Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park, where we are live getting ready for Senior Night Part 2. I'm in the booth by myself tonight. Later on, be joined by none other than Billy Lavender, as Brian Bolt is filling in over at just on the south side of town for the Liberty ILO Pleasant Grove game. And so it is Senior Night Part 2. In just a few moments, we're going to kick it to the field, our field announcer, and they will do Part 2 of Senior Night, which looks like it's going to involve band and all other activities, extracurricular activities, student council. I believe there's, I don't know what all is involved. I think cheer, media, and all kinds of stuff. But it's going to be a great night. It looks like they're going to start with the band. As soon as Senior Night is over, it'll be Zach Doty and I bringing you the pregame. So at this time, we're going to kick it to our PA announcer, and I hope you enjoy Senior Night.
This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University Interscholastic Team. This facility is also following COVID-19 risk mitigation guidelines as recommended by the UIL and state authorities.
We ask that as a spectator, you help slow the spread of COVID-19 by wearing a face covering at all times, thus consuming food or drink, and maintaining at least 6 feet of distancing at all times from other groups and individuals outside of your household. We also ask that you wash or sanitize your hands often and avoid touching your nose, eyes, and mouth with unwashed hands.
In your conduct at tonight's game, please consider the time and effort each of these teams, coaches, and athletes have put forth. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all the players have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice in order to achieve athletic excellence.
Texas High encourages that you cheer these young athletes, applaud them, but do not, through any of your actions, cause them to doubt the value of athletics.
By your conduct, allow these young people to feel pride in their communities and school. While your sportsmanlike actions may only play a small part in the outcome of this game, it will play a greater role in continuing to encourage and teach competitive athletics.
We also ask that you show your appreciation for these students who will be taking part indirectly in tonight's game. We're supporting your teams at home and away, as they play an integral part in their team's success.
The officials for this game have been mutually agreed upon by school officials and for both schools. Their role is not unlike those of players, coaches, teachers, and school administrators.
Without them, this game would not be possible. We ask you, as students, parents, and citizens, to demonstrate the kind of respect for these officials you would extend to any dedicated person in a position of responsibility.
True sportsmanship means that you, as a fan, should not loudly criticize any players, coaches, or officials, and should remain courteous and respectful as you cheer for your team.
Attention all Tiger and Nacogdoches fans. Tiger Stadium will close and field lights will be turned off 20 minutes following tonight's game. Thank you for helping us clear off the stadium in a timely manner.
At this time, Texas High would like to recognize some of our seniors who make Friday nights great. Tonight we are recognizing seniors for band, cheer and sports, drill team, leadership, and publications who work every week to make our Friday nights great.
First we have Emma Allen, escorted by her parents Sarah and Daryl Allen. Martha Bratcher is escorted by her parents Laura and Michael Bratcher. Caleb Byrd is escorted by Kenway Byrd and Javante Jones. Trent Chisholm is escorted by Laura and Brandon Chisholm. Evan Cobb is escorted by Chris and Ellis Cobb. Aubrey Eggert is escorted by Robert Montalvich and Melissa Eggert. Logan Gonzalez is escorted by his parents, Darcy Fowler and Allison Head is escorted by Lisa Head and Sheila Head. Samaya Jackson is escorted by her mom, Victoria Jackson, and grandfather, Frederick Beal. Caden Keith is escorted by his parents, Dr. and Miss Keith. Joshua Jeffrey, our band chaplain, is escorted by her daughter, Jeffrey, and Bernie Jalen Johnson is escorted by Jewel Johnson and Alfred Johnson. Parker Johnson is escorted by Sarah Johnson. Torian Lewis is escorted by Rob Smith and Apple Banks. Michael Markham is escorted by Leticia Vega and Catherine. Christian Miller is escorted by Rose Spearman and Nicole. Devon Pennington is escorted by Sandy and Eric Pennington. Paige Billiall is escorted by Heidi Billiall and Brett Billiall. Michael Rager is escorted by Christian and Michael Rager. Tammy Robinson is escorted by Ashley Jeffrey Robinson. Ashton Salisbury is escorted by Brandy and Jeff Salisbury. Jennifer Silva Cruz, exercise drum major, is escorted by Anna Cruz and Jose Silva. Christopher Urieta is escorted by Kate Cooper and Adriana Ferrer. Kershon Waters is escorted by his mother, Rashonda Bradley. Rion Wilson is escorted by Andre Wilson and Messina Wilson.
Beth Dees, Church of the Mascot, is escorted by her parents, Jennifer and Brett Dees. Felicia Galston, representing cheer and leadership, is escorted by her parents, Cynthia and Gabriel Cardini. Logan Huddleston, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his mom, Stacey Huddleston, and grandfather, Mike Huddleston. Jolie Eisenhower, representing cheer and leadership, is escorted by her mother, Joan Eisenhower, and her brother, Ethan Eisenhower. Evan Likens, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his parents, Susan and Scott Likens. Peyton Looney, representing cheer leadership, is escorted by her father, Matt Looney, and her little brothers, Clay and Jack Looney. Haley Lyons, representing cheer leadership, is escorted by her parents, Penny Condris and Jerry Lyons. Ethan Power, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his parents, Shonda Power and Cody. Sawyer Pritchard, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his mother, Kelsey Combs, and grandmother, Linda Combs. Ashton Robertson, representing cheer leadership, is escorted by her parents, Julia and Scott Combs. Lizzie Smith, representing cheer, is escorted by her parents, Sammy and Alice Smith. Luke Smith, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his parents, Tracy Smith and Mark Smith. Nathan Steele, representing cheer sports and leadership, is escorted by his parents, Jennifer and John Steele.
Olivia Grace George, representing Girls Team Leadership, is escorted by her parents, Leslie and Sean George. Olin Clark Hayes, representing Drill Team, Tiger Racing, and Leadership, is escorted by her mother, Tanya Hayes, and her sister, Francie. Madison Kidmore, representing Drill Team, is escorted by her parents, Lindsay Cardenas and Brandy Kinnable. Leland Kinney, representing Drill Team and Leadership, is escorted by her parents, Melissa and Eric Kinney. Riley McDuffie, representing Drill Team and Leadership, is escorted by her parents, Lisa and Clayton Stone. Michaela Gilden, representing Sports Medicine, is escorted by her parents, Melissa and Dustin Jones. The following students represent THS publications, and the work they do at every football game for THS student media, online publications, and the Tiger Yearbook is very, very appreciated. Bethany Arnold, escorted by Sheriff Oliver. Brooke Knight, escorted by her parents, Jamie and Joseph. Stevie Knapp. Sydney Rowe, escorted by her mother, Terry Rowe, and sister Kimberly. Allison Smith, escorted by her parents, Crystal.
The following students represent student council and leadership and the work they do throughout the fall for pep rallies, the student section, and school spirit. Sheridan Brush, escorted by her parents, Stephanie and Greg Brush. Robert Cheney is escorted by his parents, Lena and Bob Cheney. Ellison Davis is escorted by her parents, Tanya and Martin. Jonathan Gass is escorted by his parents, Bonnie and Stephen Gass. Jalen Gillette is escorted by her mom, Tony Gillette. Emma Higginson is escorted by her parents, Stephanie McCorkle and Chris Higginson. Reagan Higginson is escorted by her stepdad, Charles McCorkle. Colton Jackson is escorted by his mom, Kimberly Jackson. Lexi Lansdale is escorted by Lacey Carrillo and Jacob Carrillo. Angie Harris is escorted by her parents, Lisa and Ken Perry. Brooklyn Phelps is escorted by Jeremy Grove. Logan Pilgrim is escorted by her parents, Lindsay and Greg Pilgrim. Alex Reed is escorted by her parents, Sheila and Richard Reed. Sakari Wyrick is escorted by her mom, Sharice Collins. The students wish to thank their family members for the love and support shown to them throughout their lives. They also want to thank the teachers and administrators at Texas High for the support they have been given.
Texas High says thank you to the class of 2022 for your dedication and for sharing your talents with our community. Your leadership on and off the field is very good.
Well, welcome back into the booth as we're getting set for the teams to come out here in just a few moments. Drill teams are getting lined up. Looks like the Tiger King himself has got the tunnel. Looks like he's even slid it out a little bit. Look at the almost at the 20-yard line. So we're going to enter the field a little bit deeper. Eric Aiken along, joined for the pregame along with Zach Doty. Zach, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're always up here on the other side of the microphone, if you will. But glad to have you tonight, and pinch hitting for Brian Bolt, and does a great job at Texarkana Gameday, but also producing for us in the booth every week. A few keys to the game tonight, as it's brought to you by Texar, and so you know. All week long, Brian and I have been talking, Billy and I have been talking a little bit. Just kind of feel like this could be a little bit of possibly a trap game for Texas High if we're not careful. Nacogdoches is a very physical team. Watched a little bit of film on them this week. And I know on the offensive side they've struggled, but defensively they're going to be well coached. I got a friend of mine that coaches on that side of the ball, Richard Strickland. I know his wife's going to be watching tonight, and so wishing their child got a little ear infection, so couldn't be here tonight. But I really think that linebacker core is really going to do a great job. And I think the inside linebackers of Willie Whitaker and Michael Anderson are ones that are going to make a difference of plugging those holes, especially with the run game of Texas High.
Yeah, I think this will be probably the best defensive matchup Texas High have seen all year, and will really show us what we want out of both Brayson, Braylon, and these wide receivers. And I think those wide receivers will be the key players, honestly. Blake Rogers, TJ Gray, best stepping up in the ways that they need to, and will be key factors in a Texas High win tonight.
And if we flip to the other side of the ball for Texas High, or specifically for Nacogdoches, they've had a little trouble at the quarterback position, made a change, and Isaac Jones just seems to be the guy from everybody I've talked to, really won the job, and it seems like the guys have really rallied around him from what I've been told. They've also got a guy, he's been at wide receiver, but he's now at running back, Samondrick Bland. The kid can go. Put the ball in his hands and let him go, and he's just a sophomore. So I know numbers came out today, so we're kind of hoping Nacogdoches moves out of our district, because I think for the next few years they're going to be really good. But that Texas High defense, Doty, they're pretty dang good.
That defensive line will definitely give him some problems. Ian Cright, Braxton White, Derek Brown, Brandon Childs, those four names are the powerhouse of this defense. And then once you move past that, if you get past that line, you have the linebackers to worry about, Darren Finley and Javaris Tyson.
And then they've added Cavante Featherston, who's getting his first start and transfer in.
Nothing to shy away from either.
He is just added fuel to the flame, and getting Marcel Beaver back is going to be big time in the secondary as well. So, but looks like we got school songs going on, and I know that we'll be going to the national anthem here in just a few moments. Hey, going to click over to the starting lineups first for the Texas High Tigers. Your Greg Orr Auto Collection starting lineup for the Texas High Tigers. First on the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive line, as Doty has already mentioned, Derek Brown, Brandon Childs, Braxton White, and Ian Cright on the other end. At will linebacker is going to be Javaris Tyson. Mike is going to be Darren Finley, and Sam is going to be Cavante Featherston. Cornerbacks are going to be Michael Thomas and Marcel Beaver, with the weak side safety being Tyreek Robinson and the free safety of Jalen Jones. And Doty, just to mention one more time, Tyreek Robinson didn't really have a big game last week. Of course, Jacksonville threw a lot of interceptions, but he's got 6 interceptions on the season.
He does, yes. He's tied for first with Cal Jones.
Yeah, so Cal Jones at Liberty Islo, so which is going to be interesting. Folks, we're going to pause for the national anthem. We'll be right back. As we continue our Greg Orr Auto Collection starting lineups for The Texas High Tigers on the offensive side of the ball, that offensive line, which we have nicknamed this week the Big Uglies. I talked to them earlier this week. Going to be left tackle John Jack, left guard Nick Batten, at center Richard Jackson, Kushan McCullough at right guard, and Lawton Nichols at right tackle. Tight end is going to be Nate Minnie, along with the H-back that will come in, rotate in is going to be Jaden Kelly. Quarterback is Brayson McHenry. Running back is Braylon Stewart, who comes in the game 30 yards shy of 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So tonight could be his night to break the 1,000-yard mark. I know that's been a goal of his this year. At wide receivers, you're going to see a slew of them. We're going to name several of them: Blake Rogers, Cody Reese, Brandon Hall, TJ Gray, Xavier Dangerfield, and Jake McGuire. And as you stated, TJ Gray coming in, sophomore, very physical, pretty good athlete.
Very good athlete. That touchdown last week just showed it exactly, that football awareness, knowing where the defender is and making that move to get to the touchdown.
And so we're going to flip over to Nacogdoches. Looks like our team's Nacogdoches has come out of the locker room as they're stretching one more time, and we're still waiting on the Tigers as the cheerleaders are at midfield on the tee and trying to get the fans hyped up tonight. Defensive ends for Nacogdoches is going to be Caden Fields and Andrew Rogers, and the nose will be Stacy Whitaker as they're going to do an odd front. So you'll see a lot of you'll see linebackers walk down to create a four-man or a five-man front, so kind of watch for that tonight. Outside linebackers are Connor McInich and Yoshi Parks. Inside linebackers Willie Whitaker and Michael Anderson. Cornerbacks Keelan Elder, Joe Carter. At the Rover is Demira Weaver, and free safety will be Isaac Jones. And so that's probably the strength for Nacogdoches is their defense.
And I'll be looking forward to seeing that three-man front, how the Texas High offensive line reads that, sees how the linebackers come down and makes the right plays to get the holes open for Braylon and create passing opportunities for Brayson.
So the Phone Pros starting lineup on offense for the Nacogdoches Dragons is at offensive line, left tackle Ryan Larson, left guard Otis Tutt, at center Christian Ochoa. That just sounds like a good football name right there, especially an offensive line. Right guard is going to be Jalen Whitwar, and right tackle will be Caleb Yarborough. Tight end will be Connor McAnich, and H-back will be James Williams. You'll see those guys rotate in and out. Sometimes they'll come to a tight end and an H-back a lot like Texas High does, but also I saw it in practice this week. They're planning on them running a little bit of version of the wishbone. Back in the day, some of you remember Oklahoma, Nebraska ran the wishbone offense. You're going to see a little bit of that tonight. So anxious to see what that's going to be like with that Texas High speed up front.
Yeah.
At quarterback, as we talked about, Isaac Jones. Running back, Samadrick Bland, and Lindarius Pleasant. I know that we're mentioning more than 11 players, but these are players that will play in and out all night long. At wide receiver is going to be Keelan Elder, Gus Smith, Demara Weaver, and Joe Carter. So you're going to see all of those guys. And so that has been our starting lineups for tonight for Nacogdoches and Texas High. We want to thank Phone Pros and the Gregor Auto Collection for sponsoring tonight's lineups. Also, this game is sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Nobody can out Pizza the Hut, Eric.
Nobody can out Pizza the Hut. So my wife and I have been talking about that all week. And speaking of my wife, we're joined once again with her, and she's in the booth with us tonight, so we're excited to have her with you. Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. And, we've thought about, and maybe you can give us some comments on Facebook or YouTube, we thought about putting her on tonight and having a little mom's perspective of what the game would be like from a mom's perspective. And I'm just warning you folks, it could get interesting if she gets on the air, because I can promise you.
I think her and a Billy combination would be prom quality for this
So
stream.
we've got a nickname for Billy. I don't know if you've ever watched Price is Right.
Yes, some.
And it's called, what is it? The sound effects lady? Almighty sound effects lady. So we have the almighty sound effects guy. We're just going to be Billy Lavender tonight. So
I think that's very fitting. I have his TikTok too, if we ever want to watch that during the game.
Yeah, we might watch that. Hey, we've got time for a little weather update. So give us a little weather update over there, Dodie, and let us know what the weather's going to be tonight.
All right, so our weather tonight is sponsored by Brian Bolt Shelter Insurance Agency and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Tonight is going to be partly cloudy, Temperature 56 degrees, winds 10 miles per hour, and chance of rain 5%. I don't know how accurate that 10 miles per hour is. Could be pretty heavier. And so it was a big factor. Last night we were in Longview playing McKinney. That wind was a big factor, especially on one side of the field. It disrupted passes, and even pregame watching kickers try and kick field goals from 31 yards away. There was like a wall. They couldn't kick it any farther than that. And so it's going to be interesting to see if we have any moments like that tonight.
Yep. And got a treat for you at halftime, maybe into the third quarter, but for sure at halftime, first part of halftime. You don't want to go anywhere, folks. Besides the bands and the drill team and everything else in between, we're going to be joined by head basketball coach Jacob Skinner at halftime. So we're really excited about that. He's got some things that he's going to want to share with you that people are wanting to be involved in the community. And so it's going to be a treat for everybody to get to know the basketball. They started practice this past Wednesday, and so basketball season's almost here. Can you believe it?
I'm looking forward to it, especially since that Texas High team had a lot of seniors that graduated. Zane, Ben, Snoop, Caleb Arnold, all those guys are gone now, and so it's going to be interesting to see how this team progresses, young team, and I'm looking forward to them.
You know, and you got football players like Xavier Dangerfield, Michael Thomas, who's going to be a leader on that team as well. I believe, and I've thought it all year long, hadn't talked a lot about it, but I believe that basketball season has helped him into his football season this year. Just his footwork and body position. People don't realize what basketball does. It forces you to learn to block out and position your body right in order to be able to, quote, make a play in football. And so I've seen a big improvement in Michael Thomas.
I think you see that in a lot of these two-sport athletes, these guys that run track and play football. That helps their speed. These guys that play baseball with their vision and awareness. These guys that, like you said, play basketball. Just these multi-sport athletes, we have plenty of them here at Texas High, and it makes them better and better each day.
Yep. Well, looks like the hype video is going. As you know, Billy Lavender's got it going. They've got it looks like they're at the 15-yard line as they're going to enter. Derek Brown's got the American flag. I think they're going to bring out the Armed Forces flags, Texas flags, you name it. They've got every kind of flag possible that's coming out. Billy Lavender, here he comes. He brought the juice tonight, honey. Look at that. He's got the juice down there. He's ready to, with the fire extinguishers ready to go. We're looking for the smoke. There's not a lot of smoke tonight. I don't know.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, we're
They're
about
getting ready.
Here we go. And so
I just hope there's not as many flags as there is on the field right now as we see tonight.
And here come your Tigers. It's always a beautiful sight with all of those flags that are coming out, with always honoring our armed forces along with our America, the greatest country in the world, and then the second greatest country in the world, the state of Texas. And then here comes all the coaches' kids and every kind of kid, and now we've got
Tyreek Robinson's in the mix. So.
Yeah. And then I'm checking out all the smoke over here. It's coming right at us, Doty. This is pretty amazing what we're seeing tonight. So all of these people are getting smoked out tonight.
You remember that Super Bowl a couple years ago? I think it was the Patriots and the Falcons where it was just smoke covered the entire first half. Couldn't really see anything. Might have that tonight.
Yep. I'm thinking the Nash Elementary showed up tonight or something, because there's every kid possible that's running through this.
I did that when I was in 4th grade for Spring Lake Park, and that was the most fun experience I've ever had.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We love it. As you can tell at Texas High, we love not just kids, but we love little kids running out of the tunnel. Man, this is how you build a program. And this little dude right here on your screen, he's just not having it. I'm going to take my time, and we're going to walk down, and we're going to say, hey, what's up?
He's cold.
It's cold. He's got his arms tucked in. He's like, we're not running. So it looks like Courtney's going to go down and get a hold of him, kind of give him a little motivation and get him down the field. So
I think they moved it forward to make it easier on the kids.
Yes.
Not have to run so far.
Yeah, that's a smart move. And so also Nacogdoches has entered, and looks like we got captains on the field for Nacogdoches. It's going to be, have to get my roster out.
Well, for Texas High, we got Nate Minnie, Brayson McHenry, Braylon Stewart, and number 77 is Keyshawn McCullough.
And for Nacogdoches, we're going to have number 42, Caden Fields. I think I saw a 0, but I don't see a 0 on here. So
I think I saw number 8.
Number 8, we'll go with number 8 is Demara Weaver. Number 2 is going to be Pleasant, Ladarius Pleasant. And number 10 is going to be Joe Carter. And so most of the time, folks, and not to spoil it, but most of the time they do the coin flip early in order to keep that there's no confusion whatsoever. So the coaches do the coin toss. So this is just more of a formality, if you will. And so, man, they're trying to get all those kids off the field through one single gate. It is entertaining, not realizing there's a big gate in the back of the end zone. They could have, I mean, they're rolling somebody through right now that's going to have to sit on the sidelines because of handicap issues, and they could have literally gone out the back gate. But no, let's go through this single gate. So we're going to get the call here, find out if Texas High is going to defer or receive. Texas High has deferred, so they will receive the ball in the second half, I would imagine. And so they will be driving into the south end zone. So Nacogdoches will receive the kick tonight to begin this football game. So Texas High wisely going to put their defense on the field first, which has been the strength of this team all year.
Yeah, and they're going in the way of the wind blowing behind them. So they'll be able to kind of get that air raid going soon and then rush whenever they have to switch sides.
So that and also it's going to help Austin Miller tonight, maybe get a little touchback as well. So it's going to be a fun night tonight. And so here we come. As Marcel Beaver leads them on, he's excited to be back tonight. We're excited to see him out there. Austin Miller setting the tee up. Folks, it's time for football in Texas as we are getting ready for the kickoff tonight as Austin Miller's got it teed up. And Texas High band is hyping the crowd up, getting ready for a little bit of the Eye of the Tiger. If you're new to Texas High, the moment the ball's kicked, Eye of the Tiger is kicked in, and so it's nothing like Texas High football in Texarkana tonight right here at Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park as Austin Miller's got it teed up. Cowbells are ringing. Cheerleaders are cheering. Folks, if you're at home, get on your feet. It's time to cheer on those Texas High Tigers. And here we go. Texas High Tiger football is underway, and that ball is kicked deep in the end zone. Once again, Austin Miller with a touchback as we are underway as the offense on the field as Isaac Jones leads his team onto the field. Folks, Eric Aiken joined by Billy Lavender. Welcome to the booth, bud. Great job on pregame.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, and it's good to be here.
As Billy tries to catch his breath.
And what a kick by Austin Miller, man. That's a threat right there, having that, not allowing them to run it back for sure.
Yeah, so here we go. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 25-yard line for Nacogdoches. As we talked about in pregame, there's a lot laying on the line for Nacogdoches to stay alive in the playoff hunt. And then for Texas High, this cannot be a trap game for them. So ball is handed off, flag on the play early. Ball's handed off to Pleasant, going to take it up the middle. But we're going to find out what the flag is, as I think somebody lined up in the neutral zone. But we'll see what happens here. Well, it looks like the officials are going to get together and talk about it. Get the call from going to be false start on
Eric,
the offense.
They've been doing it all game.
Cheaters!
Hey, here's the thing. Is a really good, defensive play by Brandon Childs up the middle, him and Braxton. And you hate to take that tackle away from them, but you want to push them back a little bit.
Yeah, so going to be 1st and 15 at the 20 now, as looks like it's going to be Gus Smith to go in motion. Going to get the looks like a little handoff, and going to have no gain, maybe gain of 1, as he is bottled up in the backfield.
Yeah, a little jet sweep there, and I think that was I can't tell. It's hard to see numbers out here.
I'm going to go with Derek Brown on that side because that's who was on that side of the field at that time.
Made a really good play to get around his man and make that tackle.
2nd down and 14. Ball is at the 21-yard line as the offense looks across. Isaac Jones tries to get his signal in. Looks like Elder is in at receiver, and they're going to have number 20, looks like number 24 in the backfield for Nacogdoches. going to have a deep man and well covered on that play, and it looks like that ball was intended for number 4, Gus Smith.
Yeah, and Michael Thomas, man, he could see what that guy ate today. He was right in his jersey, and man, that's a good sign right there early on.
Yeah, it's great to see. We were talking about Michael Thomas. That ball was intended for Pruitt, Jakarian Pruitt, Jakarian Pruitt.
You can say that again.
Is in the backfield. He's a sophomore, as Nacogdoches is loaded with sophomores. They're very young. Third down, as Jones is going to roll out. He's going to be chased down and brought down in the backfield for the sack. Man, what a way to start for the Texas High defense.
Man, that was a heck of a play.
Ian Crite
coming all the way over, kept his containment. And that's, here's the thing. You're seeing this time of year, everything that they're teaching these kids, it's starting to pay off, and they're starting to be in the right positions at the right time. So really good defensive stop.
Hinojosa in to kick it as Jalen Jones.
Blocked.
Ball is blocked, and it is going to be recovered inside the 5-yard line by the Tigers. Make that the 7. First and goal for the Texas High Tigers.
Let's go.
What a way to start tonight, Billy.
Man, that looked like 38. Is it 38?
We'll go with 38.
Yeah.
We'll give it to him. That's going to be right.
Listed on there.
It may be 39,
Yeah.
Tyler Thomas. We'll go with Tyler Thomas.
It was just that's a couple of blocks for us this year, and man, coming right out on defense and setting the tone, and then getting an early block, setting up your offense. First and goal. That's exactly what you want to happen at home.
So T.J. Gray, along with Blake Rogers in the slot, going to have Braylon Stewart in the backfield, and it looks like we're going to go that double stack as we talked about with Nate Minnie at tight end and Jaden Kelly. As Stewart's going to get the carry, he's going to be met immediately. He's going to have a gain of 1 on the play, be first and goal. Ball is at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Stacy Whitaker right up the middle on for Nacogdoches on the tackle.
So going to be second and goal after the block punt by the Tigers. What a way to come out. Confusion on defense as you can look for
A little play action maybe here.
And so they're going to make a lot of changes up front. Ball is bobbled as Brayson is going to pick it up, and he's going to be in. Touchdown, Tigers! Man, what a play by Brayson McHenry as he is able to recover and make a great play.
You're exactly right. He recovered, got around the end, but, hey, more importantly, T.J. Gray, the ball's not going to them. He's got his man walled off down there, making a really good deal. You give the assist to T.J. Gray on that.
Well, I talked to Jacksonville last week. That was what their reporter said, is you got the Texar replay as Brayson McHenry picked it up and was able to run it in for a touchdown. As you can see, Billy pointing out, T.J. Gray had his man walled off. Austin Miller kick is up, and the kick is good. And so early here in the first quarter, 9:47 left. Tigers lead 7-0. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after these messages. And we're back. Austin Miller tees it up, and kick is deep, and it looks like it's going to be another touchback. What a kick by Austin Miller.
I'll tell you, that's just unreal. I can't compliment him enough, but boy, it's a big help for a football team to know that you're going to come out and they're not going to start on your end of the field or in positive territory.
So we're going to try to keep you updated, folks, as for scores around the area, especially south of town, with Pleasant Grove and Liberty Ilo getting started just about 4 minutes ago and just waiting on the scoring update. And once we have those, we will keep it updated as well. Looks like it's 0-0. Looks like they've got an injury. First play, they've got an injury. It's going to going to be Jones on the – he's going to get it out to Gus Smith, and Gus is going to have a gain of – looks like you're going to call it gain of 8, so it'll be second down and 2.
For the Tigers, first hit was put on by Marcel Beavers, then Tyreek Robinson cleaned it up.
So going to be second down and 2. So here we go, second down and 2. Isaac Jones hands it off, and going to be a big hole up the middle, and that's going to be number 24 once again. And
Tyreek Robinson brought the ball carrier down.
Jakarian Pruitt, as he was not listed on the depth chart, but it looks like he's going to get the load tonight a little bit.
He looks like he is a load.
He is definitely a load. They're going to list him at 6 foot 180, and he's just a sophomore, by the way. So we're going to bring up first and 10 for the Tigers, as Nacogdoches is just inside their own territory. Ball is at the 47-yard line. Jones back to pass, and had a man in his face, and going to get it out to Smith. Smith's going to be brought down, and they're just trying to get it out quick, it looks like, with that defensive line coming in strong.
Yeah, Beaver missed him on the tackle, but then he was cleaned up and didn't allow him to get too many. But you want to see Beaver needs to go a little bit lower and get into his midsection instead of, that's a big receiver, so you want to cut him off about midway.
So going to send a man in motion, put Williams at the H-back. It's almost like a K-back, I mean, because he's not quite in the H. It's just an extra blocker creates a hole, and going to bring first and 10 for Nacogdoches.
Man, Brandon Childs was getting, held up at the line and got around his guy and hit them right at the line and made a good tackle. The guy was able to fall forward for a first.
So we're going to send in Pleasant at running back now. And once again, Williams is going to be in at the H-back position, as it looks like I think they may be looking pass here, Billy. You got 2 receivers to the wide side of the field with a single receiver out here.
Yeah, we're kind of giving them a little bit of a little cushion out on the edges and a look for them, to work that until we step up.
Well, I misread that one. They're going to hand it off to Pleasant, as Pleasant's going to take it up the middle, and he's not the load that the other one is, but I'm telling you, that's first and 10. And if you're Nacogdoches, what a way to respond to a bad drive by your offense earlier, as Williams gets up limping a little bit.
Yeah, and first guy to hit him was Childs again. Anything up the middle, he's gonna play havoc in there, but then eventually brought down by Tyreek.
So here we go, first and 10 for the Dragons, as it is going to be, ball is going to be spotted at the 33-yard line. Jones with the snap, hands it off once again as they stay with the run game. Going to hand it off to Pleasant as they found something up the middle of that defense. And they're going to be a timeout on the play by Texas High. It looks like they're not happy about something, and going to make some adjustments there.
What I think they're going to make an adjustments, their tackles, their defensive tackles are really playing outside of their tackles, and they're just saying what Nacogdoches is saying is, hey, we're gonna go up the middle till you put those guys up the middle, and I think that's what they'll do, and I think our corners will play a little bit. Since we're going to do that, I think our corners will probably move up a little bit so they can get the sweeps around the end.
Yeah.
That's just what I think. Well, that and 89 cents will get you a cup of coffee.
Well, and then they're probably, how you're saying it, they're shading to the wrong side instead of plugging that middle, because they're running right up the middle on us, like you say. So they're almost, you've got where your nose is supposed to be, he's not there. It's just
And the thing is you got to call your defense early, and offenses now, instead of calling their play and getting out there and running it, they're seeing what you're lined up in. We may start looking over at the sideline and calling plays a little bit later so we can, put a little defense on them.
Yeah, well, let your defense lead instead of letting their offense lead, and I think that's a good thought there, Billy.
Yeah,
I'm kind of proud of you, man.
It's also a good thought not to go at Ian Crowder, Derek Brown on the edges. Now look what they're doing. They're going to put 2 backs.
Yeah, and then we talked about it. They could possibly, there
reverse.
It comes, reverse, here it comes. And it's going to be well read by, and just missed tackle there as he gets it to Bland, as Bland comes as a reverse. but it's going to be enough for a 1st and 10 as he breaks a tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, you know, it looked like D. Brown tried to go up high on him and sling him down instead of just going through his midsection. And, you know, they've got some bigger guys, and what you got to do is you just got to put it right in their numbers. Good form tackle, and, you know, we had to play defense well.
So it's going to be 6:40 and counting here in the first quarter. Texas High leads 7-0 as the Nacogdoches Dragons are on the drive. Ball's handed off once again up the middle. And it's going to be no-go for him, as it's going to be a gain of 1. I would rather have a gain of 1 than a gain of 10, as we've had on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, boy, Childs and D. Brown. But like we said, you know, we knew they were calling timeout, seeing what Nacogdoches was doing, and gonna make an adjustment. And you know, the game is full of adjustments. Used to, the game was you know, there were halftime adjustments. You know, then they started adjusting at quarters. Now it's on the fly. If you don't adjust on the fly, the other team's going to run up and down your throat.
So it's going to be Pruitt once again in the backfield. Going to fake the handoff, got a man, and it's going to be overthrown, as it looked like there was a misdirection, or looks like the receiver ran the wrong route, as they had Bland. The ball was intended for Bland.
Yeah, it was really good play action in the backfield, but none of the DBs balled on it, and looks like Coach Wilson has his DBs really, you know, in their shirt, and like I say, and you know, it almost looked like they were trying to rub us, run some kind of rub route, but it was a little bit too far down the field to really be that. So I think it's what you said. I think it was just, you know, 2 guys running the wrong play.
Well, and then when you play soft coverage, that rub route does not work. It's going to be more of a tight coverage route as well.
Play of the drive right here, Eric.
Yep, so 3rd down and 9. Jones back to pass. He's going to have a man on the tunnel screen, and he's going to get away. And it looks like it's going to be Weaver for the touchdown for the Dragons, as it's going to –
Listen, I'll tell you what they did. They called the perfect play at the perfect time against the perfect defensive play. What we did was we came after the quarterback knowing it was a pass, and if that was anything except a screen, we have him with a big loss, and they're not even able to make 3. Instead, they had the perfect play at the perfect time, and you got to tip your hat to Nacogdoches on that.
So Hinojosa in for the point attempt after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 5:42 left here in the first quarter, the game is tied 7-7. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Texas High Tiger football right here on Tiger Vision and Texarkana Gameday.
Providing excellent customer service while keeping everyone safe is a top priority here at State Bank. We are making your banking experience safer and easier with our new curbside banking program. Almost anything you need to do inside the branch can now be accomplished with curbside banking. Need to open an account, pick up a debit card, or hands-on help with mobile banking? Just pull into a designated curbside spot, call the number on the sign, and a State Bank team member will come assist you quickly. We are excited to bring you this convenience and are thankful to serve you. Your family, your bank, State Bank.
And we're back where the Nacogdoches Dragons responded after the block punt and touchdown by the Tigers with a touchdown themselves, make it 7-7. Hinojosa to kick it. Going to be caught
TJ Gray.
by TJ Gray, the sophomore receiver, and he's going to be brought down just inside the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 22. As
you know, it was kind of a safe punt return, and why I say that is because you take a team like Nacogdoches who has nothing to lose. They line up a little bit unconventional, and so you've got to play for the fake, and if they do something crazy, so TJ had to retreat a long way to get that. By the time he gets it, their defense is there.
Yeah, so it's a great kick by them because it's kind of kicked into no man's land. That's kind of become the new thing with the kickers now. McHenry back to pass, another bad snap, and we're going to get to Braylon, and Braylon's going to be bottled up after a gain of 2 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like 52. Stacy Whitaker, I think we'll call his name a lot. He's the nose and kind of wreaks havoc in the middle of their defense.
So it brings up 2nd down and 8 as Nate Minnie is in at tight end. Going to have TJ Gray and Blake Rogers in at receiver. as they're going to add Jaden Kelly in as the H-back position, and I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Fakes the handoff. TJ Gray's got him as he runs a great route, almost like a little comeback route.
Man, a really good route run right there. And you know, here's the thing is he comes out of his break and the ball is coming right on him. Good strong throw by Brayson on the run. And here the Tigers are with a 1st and 10.
I'm telling you, that defensive back didn't know where TJ Gray went.
Well, he's got to respect the deep route too.
Yeah.
They've seen that.
TJ's got a lot of speed. Is going to hand it off to Braylon Stewart. Stewart's going to dance up the middle and run over somebody as he's going to be down at just shy of the 45-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, that was Braylon Ratcliffe for Nacogdoches on the tackle. And Braylon's that guy that, you know, even though there wasn't an open hole right in front of him, he shifts his body, gets a couple of yards, and then completely takes the defender another 4 yards.
It's going to get Braylon that much closer to that 1,000-yard mark as he enters the game 30 yards shy. And I look for him to break that tonight as I hand it off to him once again. And that's going to be 1st and 10 as he's got enough for the 1st down. And so going to be 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Tigers.
You know, the thing is what we want to do is they may put some guys up the middle on us, and it may take us a little bit to get traction, but we know if we keep running it, offensive line keeps leaning on those guys, we'll make them tired at the end, and that's what the coaching staff really likes to do.
Texas High comes into tonight averaging 361 yards per game of offense, and Brayson looking for Gray on the little out route, but to no avail.
Yeah, it looked like Coach Stanford's telling Brayson the read needed to be a little bit different, and I think Brayson saw something different. But it's good. You know, here's the thing: if it's not there, get that throw out of bounds and live to fight another day. And now we got 2nd and 10.
Well, a lot of guys, they do this RPO and they think it's within the line of scrimmage. A lot of times you're reading a safety, you're reading a corner. What are they going to do? And then you respond opposite, obviously, of what they do. Hands it off to Brayson McHenry. Brayson's going to break free. He's going to be across the 20. And, folks, that's going to put him over the 1,000-yard mark as it's going to be 1st and 10. Just shy of the 15-yard line. Congratulations to you, Braylon Stewart, as you are a 1,000-yard rusher.
Look at this replay right here. Watch this jump cut. Whoop.
And he's going to stay on his feet. And I thought he was going to be touchdown Tigers, but going to be 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, make it the 17-yard line.
Look at Tiger Vision and Texarkana Game Day always having that camera at the perfect place at the perfect time. You get to see Braylon Stewart like a locomotive coming right at you.
Break the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Hands it off to Trent Kelly. Trent's going to be right up the middle and be stopped immediately by the defense of the Dragons. And so trying to get numbers, folks, it's kind of hard to see some of those numbers because they crinkle their jerseys up a little bit.
Well, not only crinkle jerseys, but bad eyes sometimes will do that.
It's going to be Stacy Whitaker, the nose guard, number 52, that got in there as he's got his. And but I'm going to tell you, when you start seeing hands on hips, that's always good news.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what you want to start seeing, and that's why they keep feeding it up the middle.
Going to hand it off to Trent Kelly. He's going to break it. Tries to get it.
Yeah, it was
outside.
It tried to get it outside. Looked like he had to cut in. It made a good cut, but number 2 for defense, Londarius Pleasant. I'll just call him Pleasant. Wasn't very pleasant to the Tigers right there.
Yeah, going to be 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 9 for the Tigers as they are trying to respond to the touchdown by Nacogdoches, as it is 7-7 as we near 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. So McHenry, Braylon Stewart back in. McHenry back to pass, pump fakes. He's got Gray, wants Gray in the end zone, but the Dragon defense, looks like the defensive back, number 3, Elder, did a great job there by breaking that route off.
Yeah, Keelan kind of got in his way, and that's what Coach Stanford's wanting is to see some, that he bit on the play, but he just bit in the right direction to where TJ, couldn't get around him, and so that forces a kick, and looks like it's going to be spotted about a 32-yarder.
So it's going to be 32-yard field goal by Austin Miller. Attempt as Blake Rogers holds, and could be offsides there. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. And it's going to be 1st and 10 by Nacogdoches. And if you're Nacogdoches, you're pretty excited after that.
Yeah, the snap wasn't that good, and I think they jumped off sides, and the snapper kind of got it back there a little bit low, but doesn't look like there was a flag on it. So it may just be me from here, but there was a lot of shake up at the line, and I think that's what caused it.
So it's going to be first down and 10 for Nacogdoches with 2:04 left here in the first quarter. Update scores: Mount Pleasant leads Pine Tree in the first quarter 7-0. Hallsville trails Marshall in the first quarter 7-0, and White House is leading Jacksonville 7-0. And across town, we don't have a score yet, but we'll get that for you as soon as possible, as it's going to be 0-0 in the first quarter for Pleasant Grove and Liberty Isles. They're playing at Harris Field tonight. Minute 40 left here in the first quarter, as we stated earlier, and you can see on your screen, the Commercial National Bank scoreboard scores tied at 7. Jones in at quarterback.
Lefty.
Excuse me, it's going to be number 15. He's a sophomore, and I had his name on the depth chart and took it off. Didn't think I would see him tonight, and he is a sophomore, going to be number 15.
Beaver made a really nice tackle on the play right there, and looks like they're going to try to do a little bit something different. Looks like this may be their passing guy, maybe a little bit shifty runner as well, from what it looks like. But we're going to get to see, and it's 3rd and 1 right here.
So they're going to put in at quarterback. It's going to be Mikael Lockett is in at quarterback for Nacogdoches. And so they're going to bring the sophomore in, as they're trying to give just a little bit different look and trying to pull out all the stops as you're trying to play to try to stay in the playoff hunt.
Yeah. And here's the thing is, they know they're up against a good team, and they're gonna try to break anything out they can and try. What they want to do is try to get something that we haven't seen on film all week, and that's what it looks like.
So lock it in at quarterback. Going to have Pleasant in the backfield. Going to pitch it to Bland, and Bland is going to try to get around the end, and that jet sweep is not going to work this time.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the DB on the opposite side, I couldn't tell who it was. Maybe I couldn't tell, but he kept his containment and forced him in, and when he did, Ja Tyson leveled him, and so we got a 2nd and 10.
It's going to be Thomas over there on that
Michael,
side.
okay.
That's going to come in and create containment. Does a great job on that. And they're going to let the quarter run out. And so after 1 here at Tiger Stadium, Texas High 7 and Nacogdoches 7. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have the second quarter and the remainder of the first half. Eric Aiken along with Billy Lavender. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day along with Tiger Vision.
I'm Dr. Matt Young from Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. We have expanded to increase our outstanding services for our community. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are a full-service emergency department and are now offering inpatient services and outpatient imaging. Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, real ER without the wait, where your hometown physician owners are always here for you.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help, because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
And welcome back, folks, as we begin the second quarter. Second quarter sponsored by Conterra. And as we begin the second quarter, going to be a long pass by Lockett. And pass was intended for number 16, Jalen Brown, who is also a sophomore. I'm telling you, Nacogdoches is loaded with sophomores.
Yes, sir. And, here's what they do is they, like we said, they're going to run that little out route, but then they're going to hitch it and go long, and that's what they did. And Beaver was right in his pocket again. Tariq Robinson was on the top, and if the quarterback would have made a half-decent throw, we'd have picked it.
Yeah. So going to go back. Lockett's going to get back to pass. He's going to be chased, and look at there.
Braxton.
As it's going to be Braxton White on the sack, and Lockett is down.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking
Listen,
he might have got a collarbone on
yeah,
that.
boy,
that
that was bad. And I'll tell you what Braxton did. he jumped as he had him, and he landed with all his weight. And, that poor sophomore looked like he landed on his shoulder or collarbone area, and we just hope that he gets up and is okay for sure.
When we resume play, it'll be 4th down and 11 for Nacogdoches. As injury timeout sponsored by Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. So if you ever have an injury in your life, whether it's at home or on the job, don't forget Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital can take care of you.
Yes, sir. They do a great job, and boy, they support the schools and the kids, and man, they really do a great job for Texas High, and we really do. It's in the athletic department, but more importantly in the school. We appreciate all their help.
Hinojosa back to kick for the Dragons, as it looked like Lockett jogged off the field, and we'll keep an eye on the sideline and see what it looks like over there. Jalen Jones, as they almost got another one. Jalen Jones back to receive it. He's going to let it go, going to roll out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
28 in it.
Yeah, 28. We'll go 28.
Yeah.
We can't see. We're both old. And so, folks, you're just going to have to forgive us. You've got 2 old guys and a young guy that hadn't decided to help us out over here. As Doty should be going 28. So.
Man, I'll tell you what, they just that punter kind of got that off, and if he would have kicked it straight or a little bit right, we had it blocked. But he swept it across his body, and it got a really, really good roll and changed the field position. But it looks like we're coming out in 3 wide.
I just want to say on that last drive, it's the defensive coaches make amazing adjustments, and it's fun to see those adjustments, and you saw it on that last drive as Braylon Stewart on the carry going to have a loss of 1. But defensive coaches made a huge adjustment after that drive that Nacogdoches got in. Even on the timeout, they made that adjustment. They just called the right play on the score.
Right.
But then the adjustments coming out, man, it just
yeah, you got to like where you're sitting on defense, but offense needs to get going, kind of get in a groove and get some steam behind them.
So looking on the Nacogdoches sideline, looks like we may not see Lockett as they get it out to A.J. Gray and TJ Gray. Sorry, TJ. Didn't mean to call you that because I know you'll be watching later. TJ Gray. And so going to bring down 3rd down and 5 after a gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, brought down by Connor McKinich out there on the edge. And Brayson did a really good job of getting out of the pocket because it was collapsing right there. And, man, you're starting to see him grow up. And, boy, when he gets out of the pocket and he's running, he puts it on a dime.
So going to be 3rd down and 5.
Got a timeout by Coach Stanford.
Going to have a timeout. During this timeout, Billy, want to say thank you for filling in for Brian. And I know that you've been busy this week and at volleyball.
Yeah.
How about our volleyball team this week?
I'm telling you what, I've said it on the radio and everything. Those girls are so fun to watch, and man, they play really well with each other. And there's not a weak link on the team, which is good for a stretch run like they're about to get in. But man, to only lose once in district, get the district crown, and have it on senior night at home was really special. And man, I want to give a shout out to the students. There were so many students there, a huge cheering section along with the cheerleaders, and then our home side was just about filled up, and it's really cool to see the community, TISD community, and just the Texarkana community support not only football but all of the sports, and that's something that's on Coach Stanford's heart, is to get crowd participation and all of that, and man, he's got the programs rolling really well. All of them are doing well, but being supported by the community, so it's really cool. But man, at your point, they played they came out 9-0 in the first set. Did that a couple of times. Lost a set late, but win 3-1, and now they'll play at Marshall against Tyler High on Monday.
Mm-hmm. So Brayson McHenry rolls out. Looks like he's going to keep it, try to get the first down himself, and he's going to be stopped short as he is lit up right there in the hole. It's going to bring up 4th down and short for the Tigers. Going to be 4th down and 2.
Yeah, that's not a good time. With a 7-7 game, your defense playing so well, it's not a good time to. And Coach Stanford knows that, and he's going to send out the punt team.
Play field position.
Yeah, Pleasant made a really nice tackle right there on Brayson, but Brayson was, it made about all the yardage he could get.
So we're going to bring out Austin Miller to kick. try to get a number on our returner. We got 2 returners back there. It looks like we're going to have Bland, who is their speedster, as Austin Miller soccer styles it or rugby styles it. As Texas High is trying to find the ball in the air and does a great job there by, looks like number 14 for the Tigers, as that's going to be C.J. Brown as he gets on that and is able to stop that from rolling backwards anymore.
Yeah, you know, good job to recognize that. And a lot of times in high school you see teams that they just let it roll and don't really understand that the direction makes a big deal, but he was able to get on it quick and not let it come back.
So as the Nacogdoches Dragons jog back on the field, the Booster Club's got some shirts for sale.
Yeah, they do. And not only black T-shirts, but they got some black hoodies, which are really good this time of year. Some Nike hoodies on sale for $40, and we'll have them at all the events. And a couple of hats and some other shirts on the way.
Did the hats ever come in? I know.
No, Coach Stanford looked, and they're supposed to be in on the 5th, so we'll have them next week. And they're just like the coach's hats, so they're really, really nice.
Good deal, good deal. So we'll have hats and all kinds of gear. So all you Tiger fans out there, make sure that you grab some gear. My wife and I, we grab one of those sweatshirts and hoodies.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, man, and man, them things are warm.
Yeah.
They're
Look
nice.
Look at there. Doty's got one on.
Doty's even wearing his.
Oh, they're really nice.
Yeah, it's going to be Pruitt on the last 2 carries as he's going to bring up 3rd down very quickly as the Tigers look to go 3 and out once again. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 on the play.
Was that Ian Cricht that made the tackle, came from the opposite side and slid down the line, really made a good play right there and a good solid tackle. And, you know, that you're starting to see that adjustment that we've made to stop their interior run was a big adjustment.
And I would imagine we're going to see Isaac Jones the rest of the night as Lockett went down earlier. And I saw them checking his shoulder on that side, and I doubt we see him. And Jones rolls out, and he's going to be chased, and Derek Brown is he's going to be hit hard by Derek Brown, but it's going to be enough for the 1st down. And I'm just going to tell you, I thought, hey, they may be trying to find a running back to be a quarterback after that.
It was tough for me to hold off and let you finish on that because I saw Derek Brown coming downhill at their quarterback, and I was just hoping that he didn't decleat him. And I know he was trying to, but their quarterback got up and lived to fight another down. Made a good pass.
Jones is a tough kid as he is a junior. He's going to hand it off to Pleasant. Yeah. Pleasant's going to try to fight for more yards, but looks like there may be a flag on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a hold that looks like the perfect place for a hold. And but Derek Brown made a really good tackle. Coach Stanford's getting out there, telling him, get up in there.
Yep. Yeah, but he's telling them, hey, you got to get up in there or there's not going to be turkey dinner for us.
That's right. That's right.
So going to back them up 10 yards, going to bring up 1st down and 20 after the hold on the play.
We won't be playing near Turkey Day, don't we?
That's exactly what we want to be doing. Hey, I just got to tell you, number 76, I know everybody at home, he's pretty recognizable. My man is a 6'1 junior, 305.
305. I'll tell you what, they took that at the first of the year. He's a big old boy, and you know they're trying to run behind him, but they've got a big offensive line, you know that's going to challenge our defensive line, but looks like they're up for the challenge.
The center is the smallest one at 190, and the rest of them. And as Derek Brown's going to get free, and it's going to be almost picked off as number 5 there for the Tigers, Featherston.
Yeah.
And Kevontae Featherston coming from the Sam linebacker position.
I'll tell you, you know, our defensive secondary plays really, really well, but one of the things is a lot of their interceptions come because of what the defensive line does, and Derek Brown is just creating havoc. But you could see, I think it was Cricht on this side was being double teamed and still putting pressure, and those things are huge. And what you're going to see is their offensive line is going to start getting tired over the next half.
So we're going to bring up 2nd down and 20 as it's going to be Pleasant once again on the carry. Going to have a nice little gain on it for 7 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Dragons.
Good tackle by Derek Brown right there. Went right at his midsection and put him on the turf. But their running back made a really good cut and really good run. It was stuffed early, but was able to do it. But now it's, you know, like you say, 3rd down and long, and that's what the Tigers want to put you in. That's their game. I bet they're going to watch the screen pass right here. Yeah. I bet the defense is being told out. I see Hawk yelling at them.
So 3rd down as as Bland
there it
goes
is.
in motion.
And we stayed.
And it's going to
Yep.
be Featherston right
Yep.
there, and he sniffed that out, and a great job by the Texas High defense. 4th down and long, no gain on the play.
Fool me once, shame on you. And let me tell you something. They knew that they could get pressure on them. But if you saw what they did, because they were coached, is if they hold you 1 second and let you through, you fall back because that's a screen pass all day, and we stopped that. They were able to still get it to the receiver, but he gets no yards, and so it's 4th and long.
So they're going to be a little pooch kick by Isaac Jones. And one thing I love about what Coach Hawk does, and it's going to be a false start, it looks like, on.
Beep.
It's going to back it up.
Beep.
Mighty sound effects guy.
That's the only one I got.
Mighty sound effects guy. Oh, mighty sound effects guy.
Things like that, 5 yards here and there can play a big role in a game. So them trying to do a pooch punt or something like that, we were ready for it, but it also is different on the.
So Hinojosa in the kick as Jalen Jones is back deep for the Tigers. And Jalen Jones is going to clear the area as he's going to pick it up, and he's going to fumble it. And it's going to be recovered by Nacogdoches as Jalen just tried to catch it and fall down on it. It's going to be fumbling. It's going to be first down inside of deep in the Tiger territory, and that's a game-changing decision.
Yeah,
right there.
you just can't make that decision. He's just trying to put it on himself, and he saw to where if he gets around that guy, he's got a lot of green territory. But that's why you're coached to not pick that up when it's on the grounds, because that ball bounces a funny way. It's not a basketball. It's not a baseball. It's not a basketball. It's football, and it just bounces a funny way.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball is at the 16-yard line as it's going to be Pleasant on the carry, and he's going to be up the middle. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Nacogdoches. Call it 1st and goal for the Dragons.
Yeah, we missed a tackle in the interior, and then Braxton White cleaned it up.
As they're going to go, I would imagine, run right here as Pleasant's going to go up the middle once again and is going to be caught there. It's going to bring up 2nd down and goal at the 2.5-yard line.
Keeping Childs out.
So I want to thank a couple of our sponsors who wait on the next play: Twin City Title, Texas Farm Bureau, Texarkana College, Stone Studio, Sports Magic, and Sports Clips. We thank you so much for sponsoring Texarkana Game Day. It's going to be a quarterback keeper as Jones is going to take it on the right side. Touchdown, Dragons.
Yeah, he made a good read on the defensive end, and it was just one of those, what is it, where they
it's going to be a
read option.
option.
And he read the D end coming in, so he made a good decision to keep and was really untouched going in.
So it's a RPO or zone option, whichever one you want to call it. There's all kinds. And it's going to be a false start, looks like, on. Going to have to back it up.
I think that watch for them to maybe talk about this and wave it off. I think it fooled the officials. They were actually resetting, I think, on purpose to try to get us to jump off sides. Of course, I never saw a penalty flag, but let's see what they say. No, they're going to.
So
they're looking out and saying that they're taught to do that. Looks like Pleasant Grove's up 3-0 on Liberty Island in the second quarter right now.
So close game as we expected on the south side of town. Brian Bolt has left us, and he is over there calling that game tonight as they wanted a neutral party to call that game.
Brian Neutral.
Yeah, Mr. Brian Neutral. So kick is up by Hinojosa, and the kick is good. So with that, 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Dragons lead the Tigers 14-7. So just wanted to, number one, say thank you for all that you do, but also to our sponsors and all that we've got. And there's one sponsor I know that you're very familiar with, Texarkana Bank.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them every day. And here today, here tomorrow, Texarkana Bank is there for you, and I'm at Texarkana Bank. Come see me for your mortgage.
There you go. So go see Bill and Lavender over at Texarkana Bank. Total Medical Supply, Pizza Hut, Gregor Auto, Conterra, State Bank, and Texarkana Emergency Center. Other sponsors that we have as well: Air Temp, AM Care, Browning Homes, Dr. Pepper, Eagle Dental, Express Employment, Flying Burger, Millway, Red River Lumber, and Rocasa, and Smiles of Arkansas, as well as Sports Clips. Thank you so much for all of your sponsorship and allowing us to bring, which allows us to bring Tiger football and everything else in between to you and to the fans. So going to be caught. Looks like it's going to be
Good cut.
well, if he can get outside, he's got a good. And he just couldn't quite get outside, but he ran about 50 yards. We're going to call it 30 yards, but only got about 2 on there. It looked like that's going to be Michael Thomas on the return.
Yeah, brought down by Elder, looked like on special teams, and you know he did what was right. He tried to get as many yards and get around the edge as he could, but once he knew that he had gained as many as he could, he tried to just cut it upfield and get all that he could.
So it's going to be the Big Uglies coming on tonight. That's what I've nicknamed the O-line. They're the Big Uglies. My man John Jack talked to me this week. He goes, when am I going to get on Texarkana Game Day? John Jack, your name was just called on Texarkana Game Day, and I told you I've nicknamed y'all the Big Uglies. As that pass was intended for number 1, Gray, the ball was just a little high thrown by McHenry.
Yeah, he's throwing to the wide side of the field, and it was a long throw all the way over there to the sideline, just a little bit high. For TJ, you know, the quarterbacks are fighting a wind that's pretty fierce tonight. You can see those flags are whipping, and it's tough to keep that big T up down there. But the winds are starting to calm down, and then they will in the second half.
So going to fake the handoff is McHenry's going to get it out to Gray. Once again, Gray's going to cut it back inside, and he's going to have plenty for a first down. Going to be 1st and 10. Ball is just at the 50-yard line as we continue on with the Big Uglies. Nick Batten is the left guard. Richard Jackson at center. McCullough is 6'4", 305 in shape on that right guard side, and he's played a little right tackle this year. He's the senior, and then Lawton Nichols is going to round it out, who's the junior, 6', 250 at right tackle. So Big Uglies, y'all doing a great job tonight.
Boy, number 10, Joe Carter, eventually runs Braylon out of bounds, but he doesn't want any of Braylon in the open field, I can tell you that. And it looks like they're going to keep working Brayson to TJ Gray out on the edge, and we're going to get a timeout right here by Nacogdoches.
You know, one of the things, the adjustments we've made with TJ Gray getting eligible with the transfer is it moved Blake Rogers back to the slot. And this is just personal opinion. I think he's better in the slot. That's what he played all last year. And so when Coach Stoon texted me, that was a change. Just personally, I was like, man, that's a great move. Just because, not that he can't play the X, but he's just better in that slot receiver spot.
Right, and, you know, you got a couple of guys out, you know, one of them being Cody Reese.
Yeah, he was a game-time decision.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think you know, it just he's still a little bit hobbly on that leg, but one more week will get him right. And you know, he's a guy that you know, he's not a big game changer, but he's just a guy that does everything right, catches the balls when they're thrown to him, runs good routes, and you hate to see him, you know, wearing a baseball hat down there, even though he's a really good baseball player. You hate to see him wearing a baseball hat during football, but to get him healthy and get him back going is a key for that offense, and you know, on into the playoffs.
Well, your Commercial National Bank scoreboard is Texas High trails Nacogdoches 14-7 with 3:50 left here in the first half. And don't go anywhere at halftime, as Jacob Skinner, head basketball coach, will join us here in the booth talking basketball, big tournament coming to town, and get us set for the season. Braylon kicks it outside. He's going to cross the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Folks, get on your feet. Touchdown, Tigers.
Yes, sir. Braylon Stewart, you're not catching him in the open field, and that 1,000 yards is a thing of the past. We're going for 2 now. You hear Paul down there on the horn ramming it, and here's the thing. Really good cut for him to bounce that outside, and really good seal block on the edge right here you can see. And man, once he turns downhill, we got that camera right in front of him, and he's running the pay dirt, fellas.
And he saw the camera at about the 10-yard line. He said, watch this. Austin Miller's kick is up, point attempt after, and it is good. And so with 3:40 left here in the first half. Billy Lavender's honking the horn here in the booth with them. Score is knotted up at 14 after a great run by Braylon Stewart. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the remainder of the second quarter, we'll be back after these messages.
A shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
In Arkansas, see Brian Bolt for a free insurance review.
Welcome to Eagle Dental Center's location on Moores Lane in Texarkana. Owned and operated by local dentists, each room is well appointed with a clean and inviting environment. Clinical technology has advanced, and so have we. Using the latest equipment and techniques, we adhere to all CDC guidelines. Our doctors are here for you and will carefully listen to your concerns to improve your oral health. To join the Eagle Dental family, visit our website, eagledentaltxk.com.
And welcome back as Austin Miller's kickoff is into the wind. Ball is at the 5-yard line. And hello, somebody, as Featherston smokes.
Let me tell you something. I watched this kickoff team the first half of the year would run really, really fast. And if they caught somebody, they'd catch them, but they wouldn't break down. And Mr. Featherston broke down and then put his face mask right in their face mask, made a really good form tackle. And, boy, that's going to look good for Morgan Smith on some replays for Texarkana game day.
Let me tell you, he broke down and then broke him down as Bland is like, what just hit me? There was a freight train coming. Pleasant's going to get the carry and hand it off, and that Texas High defense is getting stingy as the night goes on.
Boy, and I tell you, you see Childs in that backfield, and boy, they're starting to, you just see those coaches making move after move after move, and everything is they're getting them in the right positions to be successful, and that's what you want to see.
So going to be approaching 3 minutes left here in the second quarter, where score is knotted up at 14, and this is the kind of game that we expected as Nacogdoches is fighting for a playoff position, and Texas High is continuing to fight to make sure they have home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs, as that game should be played right here at Grimm Stadium. Grimm Park, Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park. They've changed it up so much.
Yeah,
I used to remember as at Grimm.
Yeah,
that's what we used to know it as.
That's right, and they tried it up the middle again, and boy, Braxton and Childs and whoever else is out there, D. Brown and it looks like Ian Cright. I mean, not letting anything happen up the middle, and so you're going to force a 3rd and long, and that's exactly what our defense likes to. I'd watch another screen pass, may go to that, but.
So it looks like looks like we had a blitz on, and going to get it out to number 4, Gus Smith. Gus is going to cross the 30, 20, and unless Beaver can rate. It's going to be a touchdown for the Dragons, as we just had a broken coverage there.
Yeah.
And you can see Michael Thomas a little upset with himself as that's his side of the field.
Yeah, I don't know that it was broken coverage. I think it was just a broken tackle. He was right there as the guy caught the ball, and something reaching in his face mask. I don't know what happened on it, but man, he just kind of missed the tackle, and because of it, they get a big play and score, and they're up 6 points.
Folks, don't go anywhere, as we've got a ball game here tonight, as looks like Nacogdoches acted like they might go for 2, but they're going to go for the kick after. Hinojosa, and the snap is going to be bad, and it is going to be no good. And that, folks, I'm telling you, mark my word, that's going to be the difference in the ball game tonight. With 2:06 left here in the first half, Nacogdoches leads 20-14.
I hope it's not the difference in the game. I hope we run on and figure this out. And it's just two scores for them, 2 big plays. One having us in the wrong defensive play, and one just missing a tackle by a senior, Michael Thomas, who does really, really well 99% of the time. Just missed that one, but we'll get it corrected, and still some time left to come down and score and take the lead in the halftime. But man, that was a tough one right there.
So it's going to be Hinojosa in the kick. Couple of scoring updates. Mount Pleasant leads Pine Tree 21-7. Hallsville's leading Marshall 14-10 in this. Both of those games are in the second quarter. And White House leads Jacksonville 14-0, and Pleasant Grove continues to lead Liberty Isle 3-0 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. As that game is big on seeding, where it's going to be second or third place in that district. And ball's going to be caught and go right out of bounds, and at the 29-yard line as Texas High will take over right there.
That was Beaver, who made a good catch and just did what he could to secure the ball. But man, here's the thing. The offense made a good drive last time. You got a 2-minute drive right here. Use up all the time. Go down and score 7, and go in and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, and then Beaver was talking about he might have gotten his face mask pulled on that, so he felt like he had a face mask, and so they saw him talking about Brayson McHenry back to pass. It's going to be flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to tuck it and run, get out of bounds, and have a gain of, we're going to call it 5 yards, and so to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers.
Really good job. That was number 2 out there on the edge, and Pleasant, and Brayson almost got around him, and I think he's gonna reevaluate himself. But no, what you want to do is just keep methodically driving down the field and not give them another chance to score.
So going to be Brandon Hall in the game, along with Blake Rogers and Gray in at receiver. Braylon Stewart in as Texas High is going to come out of this drive and just a little high to Gray, as they just hadn't been able to make that connection all night long as well as they should, as Kelly was wide open down the middle, just missed that.
So was Gray out there. There's the good part is there's multiple people getting open, and Brayson will get that down. It's just the throw out to that side, sitting in the pocket is a tough throw, and he'd like to have that one back.
So we're going to bring up 3rd down and 5, as you can expect a pass here. McHenry back to pass, steps up in the pocket. Going to be a little high once again as he tried to get it to Gray once again. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5 and going to send on the punting unit for Texas High, as that is not the way they wanted to end that drive. Minute 45 left here in the first half. So as Austin Miller comes on, it's going to be number 8, Weaver. And
He's coming up now.
He's going to come up, and it's going to be number 1, Bland, in to receive the kick, as he was met earlier and by almost a block punt there. And the ball is turned over backwards and going to have to get on it, and going to be down by number 84, Taquan Williams, a junior. We hadn't gotten to call his name a lot this year, but it's always fun to call a new name here in the booth, as we love kids. So, and folks, make sure you join us at halftime as Jacob Skinner, head basketball coach, Mr.
Extraordinaire.
Yes, and if you go to his Twitter, it's Jacob Skinner, Masters of Education.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
He's going to be joining us tonight for our halftime as we talk Tiger basketball, as they got started this week, this last Wednesday on practice, and so they'll get started, and then talk about some of the football players that are 2-sport athletes as they play football and basketball. Carry's going to be by Pruitt. Pruitt's going to be brought down at the 50-yard line, brings up 2nd down and 3.
Jaw Tyson got him by the ankles and brought him down.
So as Nacogdoches is going to hurry up as we approach 1 minute left here in the first half.
Yeah, they're trying to score, but they're not, they don't want to score and leave some time for our offense for sure.
So Texas High trails Nacogdoches 20-14. And Derek Brown is once again going to hit Jones as Jones tries to get it, and it's going to be a flag on the play, as it is going to be, looks like either the defensive holding or pass interference.
And that was Michael Thomas, but I'll tell you what he did was he made that decision on the fly and made a really good decision, because his guy made a juke and was trying to get deep, and he reached out and grabbed him, so they didn't get 7 points. They're going to give up some field position and a 1st down, but they're not going to give up the points on that play, and it was a really good decision by him.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down on the defensive holding. So that'll be 1st and 10 Ball will be spotted at the Tiger 38-yard line as the Tigers try to hold them to not be down 2 scores as they get the football in to begin the second half. As it's going to be, looks like Tyson once again on the tackle as the clock is inside 1 minute. Timeout, Nacogdoches.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't want to come at Ja with no blockers in front of you because he's going to make that play every time. He's a very physical linebacker and made a really good tackle right there.
So 49 seconds left here. Once again, Texas High trails 20-19. Your Commercial National Bank scoreboard tonight as we've got scores. Mount Pleasant has extended their lead 28-7 over Pine Tree. Hallsville continues to lead Marshall 14-10. Nacogdoches, obviously we've got that score right here. I looked at it wrong. White House is continuing to lead Jacksonville 14-0. And at halftime, south of town, Pleasant Grove leads 3-0. And today, Billy, I spoke, or this morning early, spoke at New Boston.
Cool.
Talked about opportunity. Senior night over at New Boston. My guys are beating the Bulldogs 21-7.
There's their opportunity.
So Jones is going to get it out. Looks like the pass was intended for number 8, Weaver, and the ball was thrown just a little bit behind him. Going to bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Dragons.
Yeah, really good job. You know, I know the pass was a little bit behind, but it was well defended. And what you want to see here is 44 seconds. They may be in 4-down territory right here instead of trying to punt and getting a punt blocked.
So it brings up 3rd down and 10. Jones back to pass once again, gets it out to Brown, and Brown's going to be run out of bounds as that's going to stop the clock with 37.6 left. And it's going to be 4th down and 2 as the Dragons look to go for it with this much time left on the clock.
I think that's a good idea. They're not going to, their defense isn't going to allow us to score with under 30 seconds left. So I'm looking for a run right here.
So we want to thank Scott Norton for joining us tonight as he is watching. And going to be, it's going to be almost picked off, but that is going to be not a bad idea as it's going to, ball's going to go over on downs with 33 seconds left. Great defense and great read by Michael Thomas.
That's Michael Thomas, and he came back. You know, he made a mistake last drive and came back right there. And let me tell you something.
Yep.
He wants that one over because that's exactly what we needed right there. There was a lot of green grass, and he's a two-sport star. He stars for Jacob Skinner and the basketball team. But man, Coach Skinner would have had him out on the corner catching that pass and firing it up from 3. He'll work with him.
Yeah, he's one of the returning starters and was a great leader on the team last year, and I expect him to be that this year. Brayson McHenry back to pass as Texas High said, "Hey, watch this. We're going to try to go score a little bit." 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. McHenry's pass to Rogers complete.
And you notice Rogers got a toe tap over there on the sideline. Smart kid, made a good play, and may try to get a couple of quick ones and then take a deep.
Apparently his mom's been teaching him dance lessons over there. Or maybe it was his sister as Addie was teaching him. McHenry going to get out of the pocket and run and going to have enough for the 1st down and be out of bounds. And that's going to be 21 seconds left here in the first half.
It's like Texas High has 1 timeout left. So, and the thing is Austin Miller's got a big leg. And so, maybe thinking if we can get it inside the, around the 30 mark that we may be able to catch 3.
And, Billy, it looks like by the flags the wind is down to nothing, so it might be a chance, which is going to help our passing game as Rogers ran the wrong route. It is clear by Coach Stanford's response to him, and that was not an invitation to Christmas dinner whatsoever.
Right. And you notice Brayson knew he ran the wrong route and went ahead and got rid of it instead of sitting back there and taking a sack and having to call a timeout. So we got 16.7 seconds left.
If you would like for me to interpret what Coach Stanford said, it would be something like this. "What are you doing, Rogers?" So McHenry flushed out of the pocket as he's going to pump fake it.
Cut it up.
And is going to get it out of bounds. Great job. As we've talked about all season, that is the most improved area of his game
Very
is
headsy.
his feet.
Yep, very headsy. And like you said, I mean, you've got to respect his run. Now you can't just fire at him in the backfield because he'll take it downfield. But with 9 seconds left, I think we want to get something over the middle and then have a chance.
Yeah, something over the middle, and then you look to get it out of bounds or over the middle and call a timeout is what I was trying to say.
Yep.
So going to bring up 2nd down and 10, 5.4 left here in the second quarter. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll take a commercial break at the end of the first half, and we'll be back with Coach Jacob Skinner, the head basketball coach for the Texas High Tigers. So McHenry back to pass, as this is going to be the last play of the game. Rogers over the middle, and it's going to be, could not get it down in time, and so we're going to go to take it to the locker room with Nacogdoches leading 20-14, as that's going to end the first half as Rogers tried to get down, but hey, there's just nothing he could do. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break. After we come back, Coach Skinner will join us here in the booth. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day along with Tiger Vision. And we are back, folks, where Texas High trails Nacogdoches 20-14 at half as the Nacogdoches band is making their way onto the field. We are joined in the booth by the legend himself, Texas High head basketball coach Jacob Skinner. Welcome to the booth.
It's good to be up here. It's a little chilly tonight. Like being warm.
Well, it looks like you came prepared. I mean, you got you a nice little coat there. And
I had to dig deep in the closet. Find my parka.
So you mentioned that your entire family was with you tonight, and so it's always good to see coaches and their families to be a part of something like this.
That's right. My wife came out. Our 1-year-old daughter was here for the first time. Our 9-year-old got to do the Tiger Tracks tunnel run through. So that's always an exciting thing for what Morris Elementary does over there with raising the money for all the programs they run. They do a great job, and they reward their kids really, really well.
Yeah, we drive by that school once we're trying to decide where we want to eat. I don't know how that works in your family, but it's like, I don't care, where do you want to go? And it's, you got your 6 places you go. And the seventh day of the week, you're like, I don't know, just pick something. But at Morris Elementary, they got the little field goal set up and all that stuff, so it's really cool what they've got going on. But hey, let's talk a little basketball. You guys started this Wednesday. Of course, now you've been working throughout the off season, and I've been seeing some stuff on Twitter, and you trying to teach and the whole stuff you got going on.
Yeah, and I try to be really, really creative and try to make highlights out of teaching points. It's not always a made basket, but it's a really good 45 cut, or it's not always a great finish, but man, we really blur screen that well. Mm-hmm. And you tag a little music in the back, and the kids get pretty excited about it. So you can teach kind of while doing a highlight. But man, we've got a really good group in the gym. Really different feel than it was a year ago. A year ago, we had 0 seniors in the gym all the way up to to December, we had no returning full-time varsity players. I mean, last year was so weird, even with the COVID stuff and all that. This year we've got 4 seniors, and we've got several guys that logged varsity minutes last year. And so we've been able to accomplish a lot prior to UL saying, hey, y'all can start before or after school on Wednesday. And so we feel good with where we are. This is going into year 3. I feel like we've created a lot of good habits offensively and defensively. And the older I get, the more I realize, like, you got to limit decision-making some. Like you're talking about driving all the way out to Morris when you're looking for Friday night food. Man, if you just have, hey, do we want Mexican or do we want a burger, it's real easy. And that's the way we try to coach in basketball, because the game is so fast, it's so free-flowing. It's a lot more like soccer than it is football. I've kind of come to understand that. And so we want to limit our guys' choices. They've understood that. They've picked up on it. And, man, they've done a great job. And we'll bang up on each other a little bit more for another week, and then we get to go scrimmage next weekend at Lindale on November 6th.
Awesome, man! Already getting in the gym.
Already,
get to play
man. We didn't play a varsity game last year until almost Christmas break, and so it's off to a good start.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about some of your returning starters and or returners to the team. Not necessarily starters, but you said they logged some minutes. Who are some of those names that you?
Well, since y'all were on Michael Thomas, I'm going to mention him first. He's a returning first-team All-District player for us, and Michael's outstanding. Michael can shoot it from the outside. He was tremendous in the paint, getting paint touches for us last year. Great decision maker. He was a first-team All-District player. We had Damon Augustus, who's a returning first-team All-District player as well. He's a junior. The biggest body we've got on the team. He's about 6'4" this year. Played summer ball. He traveled to Kansas City, down to New Orleans, went over to Austin. I mean, he was on a pretty elite team out of Arkansas. And so Damon got a lot of good quality game play over the summer, and you can tell he'll be back. Little Jaden Godwin, he's about 4 foot nothing, but good grief. He can jump and touch the top of the backboard. I mean, he is cat quick. Maybe our best IQ on the team, and that's not saying anything against Michael or Damon, but Jaden can see the floor really, really well. And so for me, my evolution as a coach, man, I used to think, man, size wins everything. And the way that the game is moving, man, it's dominated with perimeter play. Now, if we had Giannis in the gym and we were 7 foot out there on the perimeter, yeah, that'd be really good. Best of both worlds.
Feed the beast.
But, where we are, we've got really good perimeter play. We're all guard-oriented, and our best players coming back are guards. Gabe Dodson's another one that can come back in. He is actually out right now, played varsity for us last year as a sophomore. Man, he's had some knee issues. Something happened to his knee, went and got it worked on, thought it was fixed. Now scar tissue built up. He went in and got it scoped just this week. And so a lot of cleanup there, but I think he'll be out just a couple more weeks. Xavier Dangerfield's another one wearing pads and a helmet tonight. He'll come over. He was a varsity player for us last year. And then we got some JV guys moving up. Colton Jackson looks like he could be our middle linebacker. He's about 6'3", 6'4", big, solid JV player from last year. And he's doing a lot of good things. He gives us an inside presence. He gives us a rim defender that we've lacked, especially last year once C.J. Kelly graduated. And we got Jacoby Johnson, who's a solid guy on the perimeter as well. We've got a lot of pieces, man. I think we can be 9 or 10 deep. I really do.
That's awesome. Well, and a lot of people don't know, but the district is what's up, buddy? As Coach Skinner's son joins us here in the booth. So the district is different than football district. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. So football district is totally separate from all other sports. So the district would be Marshall, Longview, is that correct?
Longview, yep.
And who else? Mount Pleasant?
Mount Pleasant, Sulphur Springs will be down I-30, and then we pick up Hallsville, Pine Tree down there. So it's a 17 district?
Yep. So the district will be a little bit different. Now, district play starts when? It starts after the first of the year, right?
We actually play one right before Christmas.
Okay.
And so I think there's 2 different schedules floating around. Last year we started with Longview, and usually it's a 2-year rotation. For some reason, I think we're starting with Hallsville this year. Selfishly, I'd like to start with Longview. They're a little bit more top-heavy with football, and we'll play a little bit longer, so maybe we could catch them before they were really really moving well. But either way, we've got to play one on December, I think it's 21st or 22nd, and then we'll come back after the new year once school's back in session, and then we'll hit district pretty hard.
So last year during COVID, the girls were off playing, and then the guys would be home or vice versa.
Yep.
Is that going to be the same? Or
It is. So
okay.
this is second-year rotation for our district alignment. When all that comes out with UIL in the spring, we'll readjust and reevaluate what the new district, whatever that looks like for the next season, will be. But there's pros and cons both ways. I really liked being with the girls varsity team, but man, we were having to utilize our middle school, which is across the street, and our high school. There was a lot of moving pieces, and for me, man, I'm kind of a planner, and when I don't know when my ninth grade coach is coming over to run our substitutions, or because he went into overtime, it was just a little bit. I had a little bit of anxiety. I'm not going to lie, but last year. We made it work when we were all here. I think fans like to see the girls and the guys same spot. But either way, man, the kids enjoy it. The kids cheer on their ninth grade, their JV teammates while we're waiting to play, and that builds a lot for us too. So if we're not cheering for the varsity girls, we'll cheer for our own guys, and that's a really good deal for us.
That's awesome. So, we've talked about district play, talked about part of the schedule, but there's a big tournament coming to town, and I saw that you released who's coming today, and I was like, holy cow, tell us about it.
I don't know that anything of this caliber has ever been in Texarkana. Years and years and years ago, and Coach McManus may be listening in, he did a phenomenal job of hosting what was called the Red River Shootout. A lot of quality teams. I mean, Corliss Williamson's played on, and for Arkansas fans, I mean, Big Nasty, like he played on the Tiger Center floor, and several other good players. But it was a big event, and Coach McManus headed that up.
Jacob Skinner's played on the Tiger floor, too, so don't forget about that great one.
Well, one of the things that he did is I really believe he brought in good teams in pre-district play, and one of the things Coach Mack did really, really well was win district championships. I mean, he was phenomenal. He won several of them. I think kind of the knock on him was like, hey, when we get to playoffs, like, let's win some playoff games. But, man, we're hitting the Metroplex in the second round most years. It's tough. And what he did was load up a pre-district schedule. And that's what we're trying to do. I don't know if anybody's been on social media today, but we did. We released who is coming, and we've got the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state of Oklahoma coming. We've got the number 1 and number 2 teams out of Louisiana coming. We've got the number 1 back-to-back state champ, 6A, Duncanville is coming to town. Number 1 4A, Faith Family in the state of Texas is coming. Magnolia competed for a state championship 2 years ago. They got the Ford kid who's committed to Arkansas. Like, it's not just good teams and top-level teams.
Magnolia, Arkansas is coming over.
Magnolia, Arkansas
awesome.
is coming over, yep. Yeah. So it's not just good teams. Like, we've got 8 top 100 nationally ranked, not state, nationally ranked players.
Yes.
And so if you like basketball, it is going to be a weekend that is something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, and I will tell you from Magnolia, Darian Ford is a player from that direction, and can single-handedly carry it, and is to the when he goes to a visiting gym, it's to the tune of overrated, and then he beats them every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he's really overrated, but Darian Ford is good.
Coach
so
Lindsey's done a great job over there. I mean, he's taken a superstar and he's put some players around him. We've played them. We didn't play them last year. We played them 2 years ago, and they were tough. And they do a really, really good job of playing for each other and with each other. And I wouldn't be surprised if Magnolia comes over and knocks off the top team. Speaking of Arkansas, Scotty Thurman.
Yeah.
He is bringing his Parkview team down to play on that Saturday. And so, man, it's going to be a loaded event. And, again, we have an alumni from Texas High who's kind of been involved with that over in the Dallas area. He's partnered with Duncanville and run a Hoop Fest event. And so he has really, really helped with just his knowledge of these types of caliber events, and it's just going to be a great thing for East Texas and Texarkana.
Well, man, I'm excited about that event, number one. And as we talked about earlier, privately off the air and on the phone, is FCA is going to be excited to be involved in that. And
absolutely.
And taking care of those coaches as well. Hey, switching gears a little bit. I know we've talked basketball. First off, before we switch gears, I want to let everybody know COVID's over. And so let's pack the gym. Let's support these girls and the guys program. Last year we couldn't put as many in the gym. Of course, those games are going to be on Texarkana Gameday or Tiger Vision as well again. But, man, we need to get some people out to the gym and make some noise.
Hey, listen, if there are people listening that have come to a Texas High game and their biggest complaint is, I can't take a soda down or eat popcorn in the gym. Hey, guess what? That rule was changed after about 44 years. Like, people can take their popcorn down and watch the game now. We finally passed and got bylaws done. Hey, let's change that. Let's amend that rule. And it was really neat. Our volleyball team won a district championship this week, and the whole student section stormed the court. And I looked up there and I was like, oh, that kid's eating popcorn. Oh, that kid's got Laffy Taffy. It was the coolest thing. I mean, I loved them winning the district championship, but it's like, hey, they're enjoying they're just enjoying the experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's pack it out. I mean, it is we've got a new scoreboard coming. I think it's currently on some shipping container in some ocean somewhere, but it's coming. It's been ordered. They told me 6 to 8 weeks, about 6 to 8 months ago. So it's going to be here. I don't know when it gets here, but it's going to be a big video board. I'm sure Tiger Vision's going to partner with us and have replay and all that on there. So it's going to be a really, really good deal. We are trying to make basketball relevant in Texarkana, and there's no better place to play than Texas High.
I fully agree with that statement right there. No better place to play than Texas High. Switching gears a little bit, you're a football guy. I know you coached it a little bit.
Spent a little time, yep.
You might have played it a little bit at a place called University of Arkansas, but I don't know if you've gotten to watch much of tonight's game tonight. But if you have, anything you're seeing specifically from a coach's perspective?
You know, I think the wind early on was a big factor. I pulled up, and they had just shot off the orange smoke, and, I mean, it's just swirling. And I think that plays into play calling. I don't know if that threw Coach Stanford and the offensive staff for a little bit of a loop. I don't know if they got conservative. I can't speak on that. I'm not in those meeting rooms. But I know from a coaching standpoint, like, those variables matter. I think you could see, you mentioned it when I walked up here, like, the flags are still, like, they're dead. And I think that you can probably expect them come out and really try to move the ball down the field a little bit more.
Yep. Put it in the air a little bit more. And, of course, Braylon Stewart broke the 1,000-yard mark tonight.
And Braylon's special, man. He played for us as a sophomore. He hit a huge three. I recall it like it was yesterday. He hit a huge three for us down in Little Bitty Hughes Springs against Marshall to win a bi-district championship. And that was his sophomore year. So he's been a multi-sport athlete for several years. Kid can flat out go.
So you talk more multi-sport athletes. We've talked about it all year long. I don't know if you've heard us because I know you've had to watch some of the games from home a little bit. But if you're watching the band on the screen, that is a military band that's doing a great job tonight, by the way. It's just kind of catching it out of my eye. But we talk about Michael Thomas that you mentioned earlier. I believe some things that you taught him in the gym have translated into football. And I know that specializing has become, but you're seeing the shift away from that a little bit more where kids are doing two, maybe even three sports because they're seeing the difference from this sport to the next.
Caleb Arnold was a tremendous player for this program at Texas High. He was a multi-sport kid, and when he signed with Lamar, the coach spoke on National Signing Day, and the verbiage he used was he was a multi-sport kid. He's played basketball for 4 years. He knows how to high point a ball. Like, he said that. I mean, that was verbatim of what he said. If you think that football and playing only football is like your way to – for some people, yeah, sure, go for it. But for the guy who, like, I need to earn, like, a little bit more with the college coach. I need to show him that I am an athlete. I can make plays. Man, like, come to the gym. And if you don't like basketball, okay. If you don't like, cool and climate-controlled environments, hey, like, go run track in the cold. Like, go do that too. Just go find something to do. I think college coaches like it. It keeps you out of trouble. I'm a huge advocate for it. Like, I want Michael in the gym. I want Xavier to come over. And TJ Gray, man, he is special. Like, I want him to come compete and be a varsity player for us this year. But, man, go play as many games you can in December. Like, we'll wait on you. There's just something special about that. And at this school, I think we could even do a better job of celebrating that multi-sport kid. Like, it needs to be celebrated, not just, oh, he is one. No, he is one. Like, he has invested in a self-discipline program that, like, he goes from sport to sport to sport, and he's obviously passing his classes because he can't play unless he's passing his classes. I do, man. You can tell I'm pretty passionate about that.
Yeah. Folks, that's been Jacob Skinner, and I don't want to cut him short whatsoever, but it looks like we're going to have a little performance by some of the kids. Maybe they did a camp with the flag people from the band, and so color guard, I'm sorry, I call them the flag people. My wife is correcting me. See, that's why I brought her. See, that's why we do that. So
she's taking notes over there.
And, so that the color guard's going to do something, a special performance along with the drill team, and then the band will be coming in after that with their performance. So we don't want you to miss that whatsoever. Coach Skinner, thank you so much for
you
being
bet.
up
Y'all
here
do a
with
great
us.
job. I mean, Texarkana Game Day, it's all about the kids. It's about getting things done that we didn't have, 20 years ago when I was playing. It's really, really special to turn a YouTube channel on and be able to live stream a high school game. That used to not be the happen.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, man, be blessed this season. Good luck. And, folks, we'll be back after the performance of the drill team and the band.
For the future Black Girls of Texas High. The High Steppers officers are Junior Lieutenant Emma Giddings, Senior Lieutenant Kalea Edmond, Senior Lieutenant Layla Kenny, Senior Lieutenant Riley McDuffie, Senior Lieutenant Helen Clark Hayes, and Senior Captain Olivia George. High Stepper of the Week is Senior Madison Kennemore. Our Teacher of the Week is Susan Waldrop. Thank you, Mrs. Waldrop, for all you do for THS. Our performance tonight dedicated to you. Ms. Reynolds and Hannah want to wish a special good luck to the 6 High Stepper seniors tonight. Madison, Kalea, Leela, Riley, Helen Clark, and Olivia. Thank you for always making every day a good one. Tonight, the High Steppers will entertain you with their kick routine to Hawaii 5-0. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Texas High Steppers. Your Texas High Steppers. is proud and both sad to acknowledge our seniors who have committed 7 years to the band program at Texas High School. Their dedication and perseverance has set a new standard for the future of our band. The Tiger Band seniors are Emma Allen, Martha Bratcher, Caleb Bird, Trent Chisholm, Evan Cobb, Audrey Egger, Logan Gonzalez, Allison Head, Maya Jackson, Aiden Keene, Joshua Jeffries, Jalen Johnson, Parker Johnson, Lauren Lewis, Michael Markham, Christian Miller, Devin Pennington, Peyton Billiall, Micah Rayburn, Jamie Robertson, Addison Salisbury, Jennifer Silva, Christopher Urena, Kirsten Waters, and Ryan Wilson. The Texas High School Marching Band. Your Texas High School Marching Band. The band would like to thank the High Stepper Booster Club and the Tiger Booster Club for their continued support of our programs, the administration and staff of TISD and Texas High School. Now we'd like to thank everyone who participated in the Pack the Boot fundraiser tonight. Your participation is helping send the Texas High Steppers to Florida in the spring. In order to claim your prize, you must meet us at the Northwest entrance gate with your ticket before the end of the third quarter. Get your tickets ready. We're drawing the winning ticket now. Tonight's winning ticket number, 407589. 407589. Congratulations. Bring your ticket to claim your prize to the Northwest entrance gate before the third quarter ends. If the prize is not claimed, it will be forfeited and considered a contribution to Texas We appreciate everyone's support this football season. Thank you again from your Texas High Steppers.
Welcome back here to Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park, where Texas High trails Nacogdoches 20-14 as we get ready to begin the third quarter. Nacogdoches team has run out on the field already, and Texas High has stepped out to warm up. And Billy, what a great performance by the High Steppers and that Texas High band as they honor those seniors.
That was pretty cool.
And how many of the kids have been in it since beginner began?
7 years. Yeah, they called out a lot of names. And, you know, so many other things go on, not just sports-wise, not just, you know, them playing with a basketball or something like that we talked about earlier. But, you know, I'm looking down there at my daughter on the field for cheerleader, and they, you know, I'm taking her early in the morning. They're working as the team comes out. Here come your Texas High Tigers.
No,
and,
here come those Tigers.
Here come the Tigers. Derek Brown leading them out, and then there's Paul on the horn down there. We appreciate him, but you know, it takes so many things that go on. And Miss Walter, you can't say enough about her. You look over at the student section, and they're, you know, 25 wide and 25 rows deep, and they come out for everything, and she keeps them involved. But Courtney and Emily do a great job with the cheerleaders, and they work tirelessly on competition stuff and stuff for game day. And man, you can't say enough about just the extracurricular programs at Texas High.
Well, we're really excited here as Hinojosa tees it up for the Dragons, and man, halftime adjustments. Hoping those Tigers made some adjustments, and I'm sure they did. As we talked off of the air, this is a second half team and has been all season.
Yeah, and we also talked about not many adjustments need to be made in except saying, hey, get back and play your game. Don't make these dumb mistakes that we kind of made in the first half. Make your tackles, get in good position, and we'll be all right. So, you know, here's another thing. We also talked about this off the air is we need a little test. We've gotten a little test, but be nice to come back and win this one, and we're not invincible. You know, we're not that team. So
offense is I don't want to say it's our weakness of the year. It just hasn't been as strong if you're going to compare season to season. But I think that's hard to do because you've got totally different kids year after year. As it's going to be received, the ball is going to be at the 30-yard line as he's going to try to reverse field and dance around, but it's going to be brought down at the 29. Trying to get a beat on who that was. Looks like that might have been
Beaver.
Yeah,
it was.
I can't. He's got his jersey pulled up, so it's hard to see, folks. And but we'll get a number and call a name here. It's going to be number 15.
Yeah, Beaver.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be Marcel Beaver as the offense jogs back on the field.
Leave it to Marcel, we'll call him.
As the Big Uglies lead them out onto the field.
Hey, you can say that up here. Don't say that down to their face.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
We talked about it at practice this week. We've had a good time. So going to hand it off to Stewart as he's broke the 1,000-yard rush. As he gets it outside, he's going to have a great gain of 5 yards on the play, and gets an assist. Picked up.
Sean McCullough, boy, he got out ahead of him, and Braylon just stayed behind him. He threw his shoulder at somebody and knocked him down.
Yeah. So Weaver helped in Braylon Stewart up. Great sportsmanship there. As it hands it off to Braylon once again, as Texas High is coming out and gone to the ground game, and Braylon just took a hard shot.
Holding his back.
Looks like he's going to get up.
Oh, he said, he looks like me in the morning. You see him? Yeah. That's how I have to stretch in the morning because of my back.
Is this a TikTok video that we got going on here? I'm not really sure of what's going on. But
3rd and 1, big play.
3rd and 1, big play to start the drive here as McHenry fakes the snap, as a lot of teams do, to try to get a read on the defense. As we talked about in pregame, that 3-man front. They walk a backer down, going to have a 4-man front as they're going to have a blitz, and Stewart's going to be stopped in the backfield as it's going to be no gain on the play, brings up 4th down and 1.
Man, you got to think he had a little bit of, with that being 3rd and 1, you want your back to take it and just full speed ahead, not look for a hole, and, just to go up the hole, and we got a man down injured as number 2, and
it's going to be Pleasant.
Yeah.
Who is the 5'11", 210 senior. And this injury timeout once again brought to you by Texarkana Gameday and, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. And so going to get him off the field as Stewart continues to stretch that back out. And if you know a good chiropractor, I know we've got one that we're training up in St. Louis, as Angie and I's son is in chiropractic school. And
train him and fund him.
Well, he's funding that because it's McHenry on the keeper, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Man, what a gutsy call by the Tigers.
You're exactly right. The thing is, it was a great play. It was a play that we haven't run this year. We brought it out for that, but it was a even better call. And so you got to think, hey, Coach Stanford, what that offense does is they say, okay, he's behind us. He's going to go on 4th and 1.
So Coach Toon there with the call, offensive coordinator, and I know his dad is watching as he always does. Braylon Stewart going to break it out. He's going to have a gain of 11 on the play as he continues to rack up those yards on his senior season here. And that back is still giving him a little bit of trouble as he'll come out of the game and send in Trent Kelly along with Jaden Kelly, as you can see on the Texar replay. Braylon Stewart having a gain of 11. Nice dance moves there as the dance floor is open when he is in the game.
Brought down by Michael Anderson for Nacogdoches, and it was downfield, so we got a 1st and 10 right here, and we're on the move.
So 1st and 10, ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. Trent Kelly going to lower that head and get off to the right side just a little bit, get it just across the 40-yard line.
I've talked about this before, is Braylon's that back that's going to shift around in the backfield and try to find the hole. Trent, if it's not there, he's going to go and try to make it, and he used that low center of gravity and strength as a junior to really try to bowl over him, and then takes a nothing in about a 3-yard gain right there.
So going to bring up 2nd down and 7 as McHenry back to pass, and he's going to make a great catch, Blake Rogers, but it's going to be out of bounds as it's going to bring up 3rd down, and you can tell Rogers is a little upset with himself.
Yeah, but man, he made a really good catch and tried to keep his feet in bounds. Brayson made a good throw. The defender was on Blake, and Blake just went up and got it and tried to toe tap and just couldn't get it in.
So Blake Rogers' dad, Brooks Rogers, lives in Little Rock, and I know if he's not here, he's watching. So Brooks,
really good cut.
Appreciate you watching us tonight. Going to bring up another 4th down for the Tigers after the gain on the play by Trent Kelly. Looks like it's going to be 4th and 3, and if you go once, why not go twice?
That's right. And you're in their territory, and Trenton made a really good cut right there. Kind of stopped in the backfield, makes a good cut, and gets us to where it's a manageable 4th down, 4th and a long 2, we'll call it.
So as they get personnel in the right positions, going to have pretty much like, I want to call it a double tight end set, but you're going to have Minnie and Jaden Kelly as McHenry back to pass on a little tunnel screen to
nice job.
To Gray, and Gray's going to have enough for the 1st down, just about a yard, and that has got to be demoralizing to a defense as the whole body language of the coaching staff on the other sideline.
Hey, another great call by Coach Toon, and really well executed little rub route down below, and get the ball to TJ, and then you see it on the replay right here. TJ makes this play himself and then falls forward and stretches for the first down. Really great job by sophomore.
Hands it off once again. It's great to see Stewart back in the game, and he is tripped up as he tries to cut it outside, or that was about to be pay dirt, I have a feeling.
That's right, and that was looks like number 8 or number 2.
I'm going to go number 8.
Okay, that was number 8. That was Demira Weaver, and really good tackle by him. Shoestring tackle on Braylon, because if he doesn't make that, you're right, there's a lot of green grass in between him and the end zone.
Nacogdoches defensive backs, known last year as some of the best in the state, and once again, they're pretty good as they run to the near side of the field. Braylon's going to cut it in. He has one of the best cuts in the middle of the hole that I've ever seen.
Not only does he have that, but if you look at Kason McCullough, big 77 down there wreaking havoc downfield, not at the line of scrimmage, but downfield. And I'm telling you, if I was going to get behind somebody, that's who would be behind.
Yeah, so watch this.
He's
right
pulling.
here. There he goes. Bam!
Boom. Yes, sir. Let me introduce you to my friend.
So I talked to McCullough at practice this week, and, man, I'm telling you, that kid has got a future. He's got it planned. He knows exactly what to do. It's going to be Braylon Stewart on the carry once again. But he's decided if he cannot play college football at the next level, he's going to go and be an underwater welder. That's what he wants to do. And I was like, man, he's like, either I'm going to get to play and get a 4-year degree, or I'm going to go get a 2-year degree.
Wow.
And I was like, that's
Man,
the way you do it.
That's
I was
exactly
like,
right.
That's a future. That's awesome.
You know, I don't want to do anything underwater.
Well, he said if it pays,
I
plays.
I mean, unless it's a TikTok and it's got to be in the hot tub, I'm in. But everything else is above water.
My wife said, I don't want to see that. Oh, Lord, that was a funny TikTok this morning. I got to see. So, because you post it everywhere. If you hadn't seen it, it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's on there, Lord. Y'all need to pray for my man, Billy. So at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you will be entertained. And so
it's even going to be on Tiger Vision.
We are not responsible for stupidity.
That's exactly right.
So
there'll be a disclaimer before that's played.
But I do want to say congratulations on being the fan of the year.
That's right. Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Braylon
Stewart.
Yes, sir.
And he's got a man.
Yes,
Touchdown, Tigers. Blake Rogers wide open in the end zone with a man in his face. McHenry with a connection.
Man, Braylon Stewart hurts his. Man, looks like a bicep or shoulder. Forrest, our trainer's going to work with him, but you're going to see on this replay, Brayson stays in with a guy right in his face and had executed the pump to Blake and gets it over to him for a touchdown to Blake Rogers.
Yeah. So looks like Austin Miller kick is up, and the kick is good. And so with that, Texas High takes the lead, and there's the difference, Billy. We talked about replay right here from a wide angle as Brayson stays in the pocket, takes the shot, but he forgot as he got behind the cornerback. The cornerback said, who blew the coverage, sir? It was you.
Listen, I'm going to go back to and what I like is you could see about 3 yards on the field the whole way down. Coach Harrell out there coaching his kids at offensive line, and they really set the tone right there. But, man, I'm going to go back to the play call and the execution of the first fourth down play where we had it on our side. Coach Stanford, the gambler in him, took that, and because of it, we go down, we set the tone, we come out in the second half, take the ball down, score 7, and we've got the lead.
The gambler, huh?
Well,
hey, if you're Coach Stanford,
I mean,
go buy a lottery ticket
I mean,
tonight,
he was knowing when to hold them and when to fold them that drive. Let's say that.
I'm going to call him Kenny Rogers. So here we go. Austin Miller to kick off, and going to kick it deep, and it's going to be fielded at the 2-yard line. And if we get great,
all right,
and it's going to be inside the 15-yard line. Ball's going to be spotted at the 14. They're going to give him the 15, 1st and 10 for Nacogdoches. And if you're the Tigers, you're excited about that.
Man, I'm telling you, here's the thing. Austin Miller takes it all the way down to the 1, which gives, and 2 with some hang time, and gives Beaver time to get down not only secure, cutting him in, but also making a shoestring tackle. And there you go. We're at the or they're at the 14-yard line. And look at there, Pleasant Grove leads Liberty Ilo 17-0.
Beginning of the fourth quarter.
Beginning of the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Jones in at quarterback. Jones hands it off once again to, excuse me, I'm trying to get a number 24, Pruitt, and he's going to have a great gain as he taking lessons from Braylon Stewart on the other sideline, and he's going to have a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. As we want to thank one of our sponsors, Livewire Electrical. Want to thank Jay Strickland over there for being one of our sponsors tonight. Really appreciate you as well. So here we go. 1st and 10 for Nacogdoches. Ball is spotted at the 41-yard line of their own 41-yard line. So going to have 2 receivers to the field side, 1 to the short side of the field. Going to hand it off to Pruitt, as looks like
Finley.
Childs ran right past the runner.
Yeah, he kind of got upended too, but Finley made a real good play, and we hadn't called out his name a whole lot tonight. He's a big linebacker for Texas High, and good kid. I go around with him every now and then, and he's a kind that he can play some college ball somewhere for sure.
Another score update, Mount Pleasant leads Pine Tree 35-21. Hallsville trails Marshall 31-14, as it's going to be Pleasant on the carry, and he's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Dragons.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Ja Tyson made a really good play right there. He ducked under the guy that was pulling out in front of the ball carrier, ducked under him and made that tackle. Just how you teach that technique. You teach that, but it's very, very hard to execute it, and he did.
And White House leads Jacksonville 21-7, as that is your Commercial National Bank.
You see, we're calling our defense now a little bit later, and after seeing what they're doing offense and not giving them a chance to I like that.
Those are halftime adjustments, as it's going to be picked off by
Michael
Thomas.
Go,
Michael
Michael.
Thomas on the return, and he's going to get it back across the 50, going to be run out of bounds and brought down by the quarterback, Jones. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and there is that defense of the Tigers showing up in the second half.
We're in their pocket, but if you saw right as he did that, watch this replay. Watch Tyreek Robinson come over here and make a really nice play, really nice block to allow Michael to get another 15, 20 yards. And now the Tigers have it going downhill, and there's Paul on the horn.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 45, as the student section is risen to the occasion, as that student section is growing every week. I wish we had 2 more games here. And pink pom-poms by the cheerleaders. Handed off to Braylon Stewart. Stewart's running like a madman.
Yes, sir.
And going to bring gain of 7, brings it to 2nd and 3.
You ever seen a shark in the water? Speaking of underwater, you ever seen a shark in the water when there's a little blood?
Mm-hmm.
When they can smell that blood, and that's what Braylon and the Tigers sense right here. And I look for Coach Stanford and Coach Toon maybe to try a play over the top here in just a minute.
So Coach Toon doing the play calling, folks, and does a phenomenal job. We really appreciate him. I think he's been here for 10 years.
Post route to Blake would be nice right here.
Going to hand it off to Stewart. Stewart once again going to dance his way. That offensive line, he just gets behind him and it's like a flow that happens. It does a really good job, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. Ball is spotted at the almost went backwards 36-yard line. So brings up 3rd and 1 with 2:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. Eric Aiken along with Billy Lavender, as we're joined with, and it's going to be a great cut, like Billy said. And we're also got Zach Doty, our producer.
That's right.
Here. Does
Thank
a great
goodness
job.
we got him, because we couldn't run this mothership without him down there.
I didn't know where you were headed.
Yeah.
There.
That's for a TikTok.
Hold on. No, don't do that. 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
It's a family show, isn't it?
I'm going to rescue us out of this. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, as it's going to be minute 50 left here in the 3rd quarter. If you're the Tigers, you got to like this, as Arkansas High is trailing Hope 43-19. As that'll be a big win for Hope. So Second down and 3.
That's the Battle of the Bridge, I believe, and they get a trophy for that. And I don't think Arkansas High has lost that to them yet, and then they hadn't lost it yet, but they need to come on here in the second half.
It's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Correction on that last play. So with a minute and 20 left here in the third quarter, Texas High leads 21-20. Right now the difference is a missed extra point that we talked about earlier in the game. So McHenry is going to hand it off to Stewart. Got McCullough pulling outside.
Sorry.
Stewart cuts it back inside, and it's just silly how good he is.
Listen, that defender that was setting the edge out there, he did about what I would do. And
McCullough got the student section said, come on, here we go.
I'm telling you, that big boy, and listen, he's big, but he's not fat. That guy's got a lot of muscle, and that's who you want out in front of you if you're running the ball.
Yeah, he's getting the student section involved. He's trying to get him. Trent Kelly with the carry.
Oh, yeah.
Goes up the middle, and he said, hey, bring it. I'm not scared to hit. So,
yeah, I wouldn't get in Kayshawn's way for sure.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, last week at the end of the game, they put Joe Miller in, the sophomore running back. That kid can go.
Yep, he sure can. You know, Texas High's got with Kelly and Miller and Braylon. I mean, they got a stable of them. And, you know, here's the thing. I mean, you look over the last 7, 8, 9 years, they just keep coming. They just keep stacking them, and everybody gets their time. You know, Braylon had to sit and wait behind Tracy Cooper, and Tracy had to sit and wait. I mean, it just keeps going.
Yeah. And you've got next year,
good
Blake
cut,
Rogers,
Blake.
good cut. Touchdown, Tigers! What a run by Blake Rogers. Wow.
Man, I'm telling you what, good throw by Brayson to Blake, but Blake made that play, and he left the defender at about the 12-yard line and then took 2 guys into the – and listen, just like you said, moving Blake to where you thought, and here we're going to get the replay right here. Nice fake and throw by Brayson, good play call, and then Blake from the 12-yard line, it was all Blake Rogers.
Blake said, not today, Dragons. Here we go. Austin Miller with a kick after attempt. Kick is up. And once again, Austin Miller remains perfect on the season, and that brings it up 28-20 in favor of your Texas High Tigers.
That extra point just landed on I-30 out there. He doesn't ease it on the extra points either. And, you know, I keep going back. You know, I was hoping this was going to happen, and that extra point by them wasn't going to be the difference in the game. But I go back to Coach Stanford calling the 4th and 1 on our own end coming out of halftime down. Huge play call, huge execution by the offense, and that got, you know, Old Mo's big. You know, and now it's creeping into Nacogdoches' head. It's creeping into their head. Hey, we've still got a 2-hour and 45-minute bus ride home. We've still got to fight now for, you know, our playoff lives, and now we're on the road and down 8 when we came out of halftime up 6.
So I'm watching defensive coordinators who are like brothers down there and work together. I talked to Coach Wilson this week at practice, and I was just very complimentary to how he and Coach Hawk work so well together and do a great job together. And it's such a team effort for those guys. As it's going to be caught at the 10-yard line, and, man, what a great cut there. And going to get it out just across the 20, it's about the 24-yard line, the 29-yard line, 28.
Nathan Tyler Moore brought him down, and Beaver was there, but he just made a good cut. But you know, just to piggyback on what you were saying, I get to hang out with those guys a lot, eat some dinners with them and stuff, and that whole coaching staff are really, you know, I mean, you know, everybody's not like brothers like Hawk and AJR, but they enjoy being around each other, and they're picking on each other, they're laughing at each other. But, you know, when you spend that much time with each other, you're either really, really close or you learn to really, really hate each other. And you can tell they have fun together. And man, it takes that in a team, just like it takes that in the players. It takes that in a coach's staff, and they work really, really well with each other.
1st and 10 for Nacogdoches at the end of as we begin the 4th quarter here, as the ball is spotted at the 30-yard line, as it's going to hand it off, and that defense is coming, and they are hungry now. as Pruitt gets the carry.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, old Brandon Childs, he's not going to let you out of his grasp. Once he gets those paws on you, he's taking you down, and he did right there.
So 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons as both bands, well, the Tiger Band begins to play as we begin the 4th quarter, 11 and a half minutes left. Going to hand it off to Pruitt again.
Oh.
Pruitt's going to be stopped in the backfield as that Texas High defense said, we are finishing this game.
Eric, I think if you want me to call a player, I'm going to have it. I'm going to call the player because Beaver was way out here on the receiver. He's the only one that wasn't in on that tackle. So the one player I call on that one wasn't in the tackle.
So here we go. There's watch the pass, watch the ball as they're 2 receivers to the field side, 1 receiver to the sideline side. Jones back to pass.
Boom.
Jones is upended, and Derek Brown said, hello, my name is Mr. Texas.
Mama, there goes that man again. And Derek Brown works really, really hard. He's a high energy guy, and he's that guy. Here, watch this replay. He will go right through you, and you feel the thunder that he brings, and now we got 4th and long.
So big sack by the Texas High defense. Derek Brown on the sack as Jones gets up limping to the sidelines as they're already down 1 quarterback tonight. Hope it's not 2 for them.
Yeah.
You never want to see injuries as Hosa is in to kick it for the Tigers as this defense has stepped up here in the 2nd half. And it was a crazy kick as Jalen Jones is going to pick it up after a great
nice
block,
move.
and it's going to be blocked again. I'm just going to tell you,
Beaver.
they're still blocking people. Number 16, he is Jalen Brown. My man got knocked on his can twice in the same play in less than 5 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you what, you take those plays, you take receivers who, as a receiver, you want to catch the ball. Mm-hmm. But to be a good team, a receiver has to block downfield for his other guys.
Yep.
And it takes stuff like that is, okay, well, I didn't get the ball and running it, but I can do my job and block for my teammate to spring him. And, we don't want to see Jalen picking up many balls like that, but he did a really good job right there.
Boy, I'd love to see a tight end down the seam right here. Jalen, looks like Braylon Stewart's going to almost break another one as he dances behind that line, and it looks like it's going to be close to a 1st down. And officials are looking to see, and it's going to be first and 10 as a gain of 10 yards on the play. I was about to say, how do you write that down in the playbook?
Yeah, and you take one of the tight ends, you take Jaden Kelly, and he's out there leading the way blocking. So, I mean, it's just, once you get to going downhill, it's just fun to get, put some people on their backs.
Yeah. So Braylon Stewart with a seal block by Jaden Kelly. Braylon Stewart fumbles the ball, and it's going to be 1st and 10 inside the 5-yard line by Nacogdoches as Braylon was going down. Just came out of his hands, got hit just right.
And, Jaden Kelly made another good seal block on the edge, and Braylon cut right off of it and was just trying to get to pay dirt and just lost the ball. And you hate to see that happen, but that's just effort. That's extra effort that he's trying to muster up, and just got hit and the ball popped out. But if you look on the bright side, they're on the 2, and that Texas High defense got a little momentum going. So.
And there, Jones jogs back on the field. Glad to see that he's okay, but they are backed up into their own end zone on the 2-yard line to see if that defense can do something with it as Pruitt gets the carry, and there's going to be a holding on the play.
And if it's in the end zone, that's going to be a safety. But I think, it is a safety. That's exactly what it was. Good call. Tell him about it, Hawk.
Coach Hawk has said he lost everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he was throwing. His headset come flying off.
I have never seen a call so fast. That guy grabbed his wrist and went straight from his wrist to the safety call. I mean, he didn't give it. Here's the thing. You can make a call sometimes and be a little bit hesitant about it. That guy said, I made the right call, and there it is.
And if you're the defensive coordinator, you're excited that call happened because it's fun. So hey, we've got it looks like that hole was on against Derek Brown, that they were holding him. So it's going to give you a few scoring updates around the district. Mount Pleasant leads Pine Tree 35-28 in the fourth quarter. Hallsville trails Marshall 38-14. And White House leads Jacksonville 21-7. And across town, Pleasant Grove, I'm telling you, Coach Gibson is phenomenal at halftime adjustments. That's probably, people underrate him in halftime adjustments, and it's just gone 30-0 in the fourth quarter. As I'll be honest, I'm shocked that score is not closer. That's happening. I don't know if you're getting any updates on what's taking place over there. Pittsburgh leads Spring Hill 35-21. Carthage leads Madison 47-3. Mount Vernon, who is having a phenomenal season, undefeated 37-7. Beginning of the fourth, DeKalb leads Paris Chisholm 34-6. And Pewitt leads Prairie Land 44-28. Hooks trailing Dangerfield 50-14. And let's go back to New Boston is leading Jefferson 28-20. So those are some area scores. Your Commercial National Bank School Board. Want to thank some more of our sponsors, Billy. We got Air Temp, AM Care, Browning Homes, Dr. Pepper, Eagle Dental, Express Employment, Flying Burger, Millway, Red River Lumber, Rocasa, Smiles of Arkansas, Sports Clips, Sports Magic, Stone Studio, Texarkana College, Texas Farm Bureau, Twin City Title, and Livewire Electrical. We want to thank those as our sponsors. As Hinojosa kicks the free kick, as it's going to be fielded by Michael Thomas. He's going to cross the 45, across the 50, and as we have, give me some sound effects, Mr. Sound Guy.
Sorry. Listen, I noticed him.
Sound effects.
I noticed exactly what he was doing, and he's fixing to say, look, you're fixing to make the tackle. You're fixing to make the tackle, but you're fixing to pay for it. And a lot of times those defenders are the ones who are making those big hits. But Michael got to running downhill and running fast. Like I like a return man to do is not to be dancing around to get as far as you can get before tackling. And now we're in, their side of the end zone. So like I said, there was some bad of Braylon fumbling, but he fumbled it to the 2, and that's where, we get 2 points in the ball.
So it's going to make it a 2-possession game where it's a 10-point lead on the Tigers as Braylon stays on his feet and is showing why he is a Division I running back as the Tigers lead 30-20.
An elder who was making all those tackles early on in the game, Braylon just kind of shook him right there, and he wasn't able to make that and gets, positive yardage, 6 yards.
So more sponsors we want to thank real quick: Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Conterra, Gregor Auto, Pizza Hut, You Can't Out Pizza the Hut,
That's exactly
State
right.
Bank, Total Medical Supply, and none other than Billy Lavender's own mortgage company over there at Texana Bank.
That's right.
So we appreciate all of our sponsors for making it possible for us to bring you Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day, along with Tiger Vision.
I'll tell you that workhorse again of Braylon Stewart, and he's gonna pick up the first down for the Tigers, and now we're marching. And Butch Dunbar, who's always listening to us, as the referee, the white hat is a retired Texas State trooper. He said a good guy, and I told him, I said everybody's a good guy who makes a good call on a play in the end zone.
I'm gonna tell you what, he is. He got on a mission and lost weight and looks great. I'm telling you, in the gym, you ought to see him watch as Jaden Kelly lowers the wood as the reception was to him, and he has it's going to be his 4th reception on the season.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Nate Minnie was out there with him, and they're both at that H-back tight end position, and we're running both of them. I think they call that their Tiger package, and man, Brayson, is a really good play call right there by Coach Toon, and got him out in some space, and we don't run that little screen to the tight end very often.
So how about the defense showing up here in the second half?
Man, I'm telling you,
So far,
they always do, don't they?
So far, it's a shutout here in the second half. Braylon Stewart with the dance moves in the backfield, getting behind that O-line, has an easy gain of 5 on the play.
How about old John Jack out there? John Jack couldn't catch the guy that he was trying to block because the guy was running away from him, and that's exactly how I'd do if I was on defense.
Well, John Jack at practice this week was like, why am I never on Texarkana Game Day? I mean,
No, you are now, John.
So, John, you've been on here like 6 times tonight, buddy. And my man John Jack will talk your ear off.
He's a good kid.
He's a great kid.
Oh, good cut by Braylon. You know, Braylon's doing a really good job tonight. You know, we talk about it a lot of kind of dancing around, finding some holes, and now here comes Trenton Kelly. And you're gonna get to see if they give it to him. Watch him about how he's a different back, and I think Trenton's really good in the second half because he puts the pain on a guy if the guy's got to make a tackle.
So it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the play. And we're going to take a timeout with them with 6:38 left here in the fourth quarter. Tigers lead 30-20. We'll be back after these messages.
Welcome to Texarkana Physical Therapy, DeKalb and New Boston Physical Therapy's newest location. Because we're a family-owned clinic, we have the ability to offer some unique accommodations for patients, extended hours including weekend availability, flexible payment plans, and we provide every patient the personal cell phone number of one of our therapists for 24/7 accessibility. We look forward to seeing you at our newest location at 5602 Richmond Road, Texarkana, Texas.
Dad, wake up, it's game day. Not again. I know where he is. No, I already had cereal.
Welcome to Kirk and Company with Billy Lavender.
Hold on, Tony. It's game day. Let's go, Tigers!
You're still not the biggest Tiger fan.
Mr. Lavender, what are you doing?
I'm videoing the uniform for game day. Put on Twitter.
You still not the biggest Tiger fan.
Tigers! Still not the biggest Tiger fan.
I've been out here watching the Lufkin game from a couple years ago, the playoff game, and I'm just getting emotional.
Okay, so I'm listening. We do have the results to the poll of the biggest Tiger fan. Just a moment. Billy Lavender?
And while we were away, Trent Kelly on the score tonight to extend the lead for the Tigers. Score sits at 36-20 with awaiting the point attempt after for Austin Miller. Austin Miller's kick is up, and the kick is good as the Texas High Tigers extend that lead. And I'm going to tell you, those...
Here we go. We can get to replay what you missed. Watch these blockers out here, and Trenton Kelly can smell it right there at the 10-yard line, and nobody was going to stop him. Ball across the goal line, touchdown. Trent's what I call him. He's a second half kind of guy.
Yeah, TD Trent. My man scores on the touchdown. And, hey, let's go back to Mr. TikTok over here. Fan of the year, huh?
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing. I'm whatever I want to be on TikTok. You know, I get a lot of help by Tiger Vision, and they can make me look a lot better than I am. But and two, they also help me with ideas. It's getting tougher and tougher as it goes along. And Ms. Burns has told me that I got to pick up my game for playoffs. So playoffs. Anyway, we need to get this thing rolling. And you know, here's the thing: those TikToks need to start rolling like this Texas High offense is doing. And you know, I can't remember the last time that the defense gave up I shouldn't even have said that, point in the second half. You know, we've given up a couple of safeties, but they hadn't been the defense. Man, I'll tell you, they go and make those adjustments like we talk about, and they're on fire.
So kick is going to be deep in the end zone, and that's going to be another touchback for Austin Miller tonight. Scoring update, Mount Pleasant defeats Pine Tree 35-28. Ooh. That should put Mount Pleasant in the playoffs.
Wow,
congratulations to Coach Pinkert there. As one more score. I thought I had another one. I apologize for that, folks. Let me go by. DeKalb defeated Chisholm 34-6 as they've got it going there. And the tuba song is cranking up. And I know you're a big fan of the tuba song. White House 28-7 over Jacksonville still in the fourth quarter. And I've just been told that Allen got beat again for the second time this season. Prosper beat them, as our inside information, Bubba Rainwater, has let us know of that. And play's going to be blown dead. Going to be a timeout timeout for the Dragons as we'll
look at that student section.
So the student section looks like Texas A&M over there.
Wait a minute. They don't look quite like that.
Just by the way, Billy's got his new iPhone 13 and he's got the light on in the booth, and he is rocking with them. I'm just glad you didn't bring the cowbell in here. That's what I really appreciate. New Boston leads.
I've got it, baby. I don't go anywhere without my cowbells.
Folks, I may be retiring early tonight, so
don't leave me up here by myself, please.
So New Boston leads Jefferson late in the fourth, 28-20, and Pleasant Grove is up on Liberty Islo with 3 minutes left in the ball game, 31-8, as it's going to be Jones to pass and almost picked off by Tyson, as there was no receiver in sight, as there was a misroute there by the Dragons receiving core. Marshall continues to lead Hallsville 38-14, beginning of the fourth quarter. And should do it for the scores tonight, as Pittsburgh is leading Spring Hill 42-28, and that is a playoff implication there for that district. Ball is handed off to, looks like it's going to be Pruitt, and Pruitt's going to be brought down after a gain of 3, going to bring up 3rd down and 7, and if you're Nacogdoches, it's going to be 4-down territory for the rest of the night as you're trying to get back in this ball game. Because you're trailing 17 points right now.
Yeah, Cameron Thomas made a really good tackle for Texas High on that.
So going to bring up 3rd down and 7. We want to, as Jones tries to throw and doesn't find a man, rolls out and is going to find receiver number 1, Bland.
Made a good comeback catch for the Dragons there.
And it's in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left here in the ball game. Man, how about Tiger Vision once again coming through, doing a great job. Mr. A and all of his team. He's a legend around here.
Man, anybody who's ever come through Texas High knows Mr. A and has great appreciation for him, and he is Tiger Vision, and man, Texas High and TISD are so blessed to have him and everybody that works with him and for him, and he really trains those students, and they leave knowing a lot more about this whole program.
Yeah, so and it's going to be go over on downs and be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Man, I'm telling you, go down from down 6 to up 17. They're trying to get some guys, in, and man, take tip of the cap to the defense who've really, both of them, defense and offense, have really done well. But man, defense just keeps rolling, and that's what's going to win for you in the playoffs. So. We're going to have to take a timeout. We're trying to get some new guys out there, and, you appreciate that. And Coach Stanford's not going to be really mad at that. He's just he's a perfectionist, don't get me wrong, but he wants to get the right guys in and get some guys some playing time, with 4:39 left in the game and up.
You and I got to spend some time with Coach Stanford one evening, and after the game, got interviewed by Fox Sports Southwest because they had the East Texas Game of the Week, which was Marshall and Texas High. And we just got to talk to him. And one thing he said in that interview, as well as talking to you and I, we haven't played our best game yet. We haven't played perfect football. And that's what he keeps instilling in these guys.
That's right. And not only, you look at that, and he won't harp on this, but not only have they not played their best game, but they haven't had all their guys healthy and on the field at the same time, and we're starting to get more and more of them back.
Hey, I just want to brag on one of our camera guys tonight, specifically is Dawson Mosier. He has been our sideline guy, getting those great shots on the sideline. Got when the guys run out of the tunnel. He's been back and forth on the sidelines all night. Probably got the hardest job in Tiger Vision, man. Really appreciate him. Proud of what he does, and it doesn't go unnoticed whatsoever. You guys, I know a lot of times on national TV, some of the camera guys don't get the love. Around here, we like to give the love because, folks, I can't tell you enough. Students run the entire thing and the entire operation. And Doty, our producer, is one of those guys that was a product of Mr. A and his program and learned how to do that, and, man, does a great job for us and setting us up for success. And so we appreciate Zach for all he does for us.
And Grissom in the game now, Donnie Grissom, and he gets the run on the first down and gets some positive yardage out of it. But Texas High gets a penalty. He's going to move us back to 2nd and 15. And we're just trying to roll the clock. They want to roll the clock.
So 2nd and 15, 3:56 left in.
Roll the clock. Hold on.
Half, and so we got the state trooper is telling them, you better get the clock or you're fixing to get arrested. So we're going to try to call some different guys' names as we've got some different guys in the game as the ball carrier was. Looks like number 26 on the carry, and that's going to be Michael Beaver?
No.
That's 28. That's Donnie Grissom.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was like, Michael Beaver's
well,
not
that, like you said, their numbers get scrunched or whatever. Yep. The problem on that is we're trying to run the clock out, and the play clock's running, but they were trying to wind the and so we're going to lose about 20, 30 seconds on that. And you can see what we're doing. We're going to run it down probably and call a timeout right here. And, we're just trying to milk every chance we can and give our, if we could get one more first down, we can secure this thing and get out of here not giving up a point in the second half.
So both teams are going to huddle up here. 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter as Texas High is trying to wind things down, and this game is getting close to being to an end. And, man, district play is really it's coming out how you want it. And so next week we'll finish off with White House at White House as we'll have that game here on Texarkana Game Day along with Tiger Vision as we'll be on the road. Also, the playoff game, I talked to Coach Stanford this week. We don't even know who we're going to play because that next district, that by district, is all up in the air. Literally, they're 1-3 in the district going into this week, so they're all the battle of the 1-3s this week, trying to figure out who's going to finish 4th in that district. It could be Lamar Consolidated, who's out of Houston, and they're going to have to drive here and to play an away game. Could be a different ball game. That night is,
I think there may be if we pull this win out, there may be a district champion trophy awarded right after this game,
because we will be district champs.
Yes, sir. So that's a big deal, and be second year in a row for Coach Stanford. Oh, great throw, really good catch. You look at things that the receivers do, and they've got a new coach this year in Lane Elliott, and I mean you look at Blake, he puts his hands out, catches that ball in his hands, positioned exactly how you teach them to do it, and now it's going to bring up a 4th down. We're going to milk the clock all the way down, and I don't know whether we're going to run a play or maybe pooch kick it.
Yeah. We're going to call a timeout and then make a plan because we got one timeout left, and so it'll get it down below 2:30, closer to the 2:25 mark is what we should land at with the timeout. And it's the band is cranked up as we land exactly on 2:25. I'm glad to know that my math skills are not too bad.
Man, that was pretty good.
Yeah, man. So there's something that could good of the Grove, you know.
Well, you know, Mr. Aiken, you're always really good at giving people their dues and their props, and we just want to thank you for all that you do, not only for our community, but for TISD and Texas High, and this comes with a price. You're gone a lot, and we appreciate Angie for allowing us to have you, and it's really big to have someone who takes as much pride in not only everything that you do, but as much pride in preparation and being a vocal person for our school district and our team in Texas High, and we've gotten really used to having you. So we want to, we've extended your contract. I hadn't talked to Coach Stanford about it, but we've extended that $0 contract into the next decade. So. Look at here. We got a 49-yarder about to be attempted.
So Austin Miller with a 49-yard attempt field goal. The kick is up.
Oh, he just pulled it.
It's just going to be just wide, or it might have gotten there.
It had the distance. He just pulled it just a little bit. Hey, I really like him giving Austin that opportunity. It's
been a tough week for Austin as he lost a friend. As we know the tragedy that happened, we don't want to get too far into that. But it's been rough on him, and so for that opportunity and going into the playoffs,
that's right.
I mean, you got to build that confidence, because that may be a game winner in the playoffs. It just happens.
That's right. It's his first year in doing this, and man, that's gonna, you don't want to miss any field goals, but man, you get some attempts at 49, you had a big one in the playoffs.
So we got some new guys on the field as we'll try to call a lot of names.
Look like Tyler Harris over on the coverage.
So we're going to have number 30, Cameron Thomas, on the field, 52, Ezekiel Ware. Number 30, as you stated, Cameron Thomas. And it's going to be number 24, Nathan Tyler Moore, back in the game. And we've got number 23 at the corner position as the ball is thrown deep. And defended there by number 34, Trayvon Rush. As number 21, Tyreek Robinson, is still in the game. Number 23 is going to be Josh Stewart. 31 is going to be Tyler Harris, as Featherston stays in the game as he got the start tonight. And so, man, he's played a phenomenal game tonight as well. So, Billy, I thank you so much for the accolades. Appreciate the
well
compliments.
deserved.
So I really appreciate that. As we're getting ready for a powerlifting meet that's coming up January the 20th at Texas High Indoor, and you don't want to miss it. We've got 25 schools that are going to be a part of it, and it's bigger than we've ever had. It's going to be the largest meet in the history of this city.
It's a pretty cool deal, and y'all put that on, correct?
Yes,
yep.
FCA puts that on, and Texas High works with us. We really appreciate them for working with us on that, and Coach Harrell, all the coaches around here, they said, if you'll just get us to the meet day, we'll take care of the rest of it. So they don't like to do all the paperwork on the front end. So Angie is our admin for FCA, and so she and I team up, obviously. I mean, we've been a team forever.
I was fixing to say, y'all teamed up prior to this.
20-plus years, man. So we've been doing this together. So going to be run out of bounds by number 15, Marcel Beaver.
Leave it to Marcel.
So here we go. It's going to be first down and 10 for Nacogdoches inside of 2 minutes left here in the ball game, as I'm packing my bags a little early because, only got 20 minutes to get out of here.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I think Coach Preston has said that I could give away the trophy if we were to win tonight. So I'm going to get to go down there and hand Coach Stanford and the team a trophy, assuming nothing bad happens in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds.
If you need to make your way down, you're welcome to go ahead and do that.
No, he'll have the team over and sing the fight song in front of the students and the band and the high steppers and the cheerleaders, and then he'll come and talk to them at midfield, and I think that's when all that shindig will go down.
So what we'll do tonight is at the conclusion of the ball game, we'll go to a commercial break, and then Billy will be headed down to the field, and Dodie will take your spot, and we'll do a little post game. And Dodie's going to give us the player of the game tonight.
Sweet.
So I think it's going to be Pretty obvious, but we're going to see if we all agree on the same player. So here we go. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Dragons. Minute 45 left here in the game as Texas High looks to be back-to-back district champions, as Coach Stanford has turned this program around. They've won a lot in history, but had a few rough seasons, but he's got them back on track once again. And that ball was in and out of the hands of the receiver, and it's looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Jalen Jones and Featherston back on the coverage, and he just, that guy kind of snuck back, and like you said, brings up a 3rd and 9 for the Dragons.
So, you know, we talked about going to practice, you learned a lot of things. Coach Hawk teaches landmarks. Don't go past your landmarks. They've got spots they want to be. You know, we've talked a little bit about how the defensive line operates, and that's why you see them. They get up the field, but then you see them stop.
Boy, a big hit by Tyler Harris, and he had the coverage, didn't bite on any fake, and stayed with number 4 on his route, and then made a really good tackle, you know, just how it's taught, and went right through the receiver. Didn't allow any extra yards, and so it brings up 4th and 8, 4th and 9.
So when you have landmarks, you don't over pursue, and so that's what they're doing a lot. Looks
there
like
he goes again.
It's going to be number 31, Tyler Harris. Once again, and it's going to go over on downs. And the greatest formation in football is
the victory formation. Boy, I'll tell you what, you like to see, like Tyler Harris, he gets in at the end of the game, makes a really good play on defense against a receiver out in coverage as a linebacker. You're going to see this replay, and then he blitzes from the corner and gets straight to the you know, and then he throws it to the lineman. This is the guy, you know, closest to him, and they could have called a penalty. But, you know, love a kid like Tyler Harris. He's at practice every day. He's even gotten a couple of starts this year when some guys have been out. But you like to see guys like that excel when they're in. And Coach Stanford, hey, we're going to pass the ball some. We're, you know, just because the extra guys are in doesn't mean that we're not, you know, putting full man. Boy, like you said, you know, you're going to lose a couple of yards on that, but you'll take that every day on a victory formation and roll that clock, baby.
So the clock is rolling inside of 1 minute as the student section is they're chanting whatever over there. We just
storm the field.
Storm the field. So, and it's going to be, that's going to do it for us. And so that's going to do it for the ball game as Texas High is now back-to-back district champs.
Buy the T-shirts, baby.
Buy the T-shirts. Billy, it's been great to have you in the booth tonight.
Been an honor.
Thank you for filling in.
Absolutely.
So appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm going to be in the stands the rest of the way with my cowbells. So.
That's right. That's right. So, folks, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll introduce our player of the game, and then we'll get you – We'll dismiss it and be done for the night. You're watching Texas High Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day.
Go Tigers.
This is Brian from Flying Burger and Seafood, inviting you to join us for the fastest and freshest casual dining experience in Texarkana. Whether you're hungry for a freshly ground hamburger, the tastiest fried catfish, or some of our amazing grilled seafood or chicken, we have what you want, just the way you like it, and always with a smile. Fast, casual dining, just the way you like it. Flying Burger and Seafood, Summerhill Road. Oh yeah, don't forget to top it off with the biggest, baddest cinnamon roll you've ever had. See you soon.
Well, welcome back here as the Texas High Tigers have just completed the defeat 37-20 over the Nacogdoches Dragons as the Tigers make their way over to the student section as the band plays the school song. And momentarily they'll be on the tee and receive the district championship trophy as they're guaranteed a tie for the district championship, but they will be outright champs because that we beat Marshall.
Yeah.
And so, Doty, man, what a game tonight.
Excellent game. Came out struggling a little bit in the first half, but really picked it up in the second half, which Texas High has always been a second half team this year. And you can see Coach Stanford's got the district championship running around. No, there you go. There you go and celebrating. We got here on sideline camera. Hopefully they'll catch it.
Yeah, so they're catching it, and all the guys are out there in the middle. They've realized the gold ball is in the house, and so congratulations to them as it is on your screen there, the district championship trophy. Great job by Mr. Miner down there getting those shots as the team will make their way to the tee, and Coach Stanford will give them some final thoughts and get a team prayer as we're down to about 18 minutes to get out of the stadium. So
yeah, I like that addition out here. Is they got the clock visible for people now.
So it was a tale of two halves. You know, Texas High really, like you said, struggled early on, had some big plays that cost them a little bit, but then that was really the only way that Nacogdoches scored, and then to come back and bounce back, and then defense to get the shutout in the second half. We really beat ourselves in the first half, but come back in the second half and to do what they did is pretty special.
Well, so we've usually beat ourselves with penalties, and you can clean that up. And then there's been other stuff that we beat ourselves on, and that's what kind of showed out here in this first half.
Yeah.
And then they cleaned that up especially well at halftime. They came out, they almost 0 to none mistakes, and played defense perfectly, allowed no points in the second half, picked it up on offense the way that they needed to, and just outshined Nacogdoches, who was not a bad team. Really good team. Record doesn't even show it. This is what they needed.
So, player of the game. Doty, you've got the honors, and so I'm going to back off and let you have it.
You said this is obvious. I think there's about 2 or 3 players that could get an honorable mention. I think Braylon Stewart, obviously, will get his name out there because he's always good in these games. But my player of the game, Blake Rogers.
I got to agree 100% on that. And so I want to congratulate Blake on being the player of the game. 2 touchdowns tonight, but we also want to congratulate Braylon Stewart breaking the 1,000-yard mark on the season. That's a big thing in high school, so we want to congratulate him on that as well, with a whole 2 more games at least left to go. So, folks, it's been a great night tonight. Doty, thank you so much for all you do, man. We're going to White House next week.
We are. I got to call and make sure we got good internet Monday morning.
I hope we got good internet, folks. If we do, we're going to do everything we can.
Hopefully the wind's not as bad as Pine Tree.
Yes, and I hope it's not cold. So, well, we're going to take this show on the road next week, going down to just south of Tyler, down to White House. And hopefully you can join us next week as Texas High Tigers will be on the road to take on White House as well. Folks, that's going to do it for us tonight. Eric Aiken, Billy Lavender, along with Zach Doty. And we hope you have a safe weekend. Texas High Tigers come out with a win, 37-20. You've been watching Texas High Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day, along with Tiger Vision. Go Tigers!